The next day, Jang O went to the IT department to get her laptop. The IT tech told her that he suspected someone planted a virus on her laptop. What? An image flashed in her mind when she walked past Assistant Manager Cho, who came from the direction where her computer was at. She asked, "Are you saying that someone in the company planted a virus on purpose?" The IT tech replied that it's very likely. Jang O took her computer back and pondered. She had her suspicions, but she never thought it was true. Then Jihun came around the corner and walked past her. She gave him side eyes and felt so annoyed with him. She's been cursing him all weekend. In her mind, she casted a curse. "I hope you end up sick in bed for 3 days. I hope you starve for 3 days and barely have the strength to get up, and there's not even a drop of water in the house. I hope you call your friends because you don't have the energy to buy water, but they're all out having fun. Or they lie to you because they secretly hate you. So all you can do is just lie in bed doing nothing all weekend. I hope you go to work crying." But turns out, her curses didn't work. How frustrating. She will make him pay back someday. Back at her cubicles, Jihun came back full of gloom. He asked Jang O if she should resign. Surprised, she asked why? "What's the matter?" Jihun called everyone to come over. He showed what he carried back to the team. "It's a webtoon promoting a home camera. Director Jung Ji-hun showed me how to do this. But what the hell is this?" Everyone gathered around to look at the drawing. No one had a single clue what it was. Jang O pointed at the drawing. "What the hell? What's this shitty drawing?" Jihun cried. "It's not just some shitty drawing. It's a shitty dog drawing." Jang O finally had a flashback. "I wondered why Yenna drew so many imaginary animals, but it turns out it was all in the genes." Team leader Miran consoled. The director seemed to have insight, but his drawing skills are terrible. But somehow he felt even more terrible. So using this as a reference, should I draw a dog or a bird? Jang O told him to leave it to her. Miran asked her what she plans to do. Jang O stated with confidence, "An eye for an eye, a tooth for tooth. A dog bird he wants, so a dog bird he gets." A time has passed. Jihun asked, "How about doing it like this?" Jang O agreed. "That's great. Let's do it like that. I'll go in with you." Assistant Go stated. She will also tag along. "I want to see Director Jung's angry expression." A moment passed and Jang O poked through the door, stating she was there to report about the home camera's promotional webtoon. Jihun replied. He asked Jihun to do the work though. Jang O explained, "Yes, we came here to explain to you which part Jihun was concerned about because he asked us to lend him a hand on that part." Jihun came in and Assistant Go followed. Jihun thought, what the hell? Why are they trickling in? Jihun walked up and handed the illustration to Jihun while Jang O explained. The director's insight was so groundbreaking that we ended up using it. It's unclear whether the character is a dog or a bird, so let's just call it Dogbird for now. Jihun thought his life was over, while Assistant Go tried holding in her laugh. Jang O chatted away. It seems like a great idea to imprint the product with this new Dogbird character, which could be seen as a selling point for the product. Jang O thought she got him, but somehow, he smiled as he gazed at her explaining away. That's all? Jang O asked. What does he think? But why is he so bright? Jihun stood up from his desk and made his way to the team. But Assistant Manager Lee Jang O, are you trying to joke around with me? What? What do you mean, Director? She asked. You must have incited Jihun to use the drawing I gave him. Jang O replied with hidden intention. That's right. But honestly, I had no choice. I really couldn't figure it out, whether it was a dog or a bird. So did you draw a dog or bird? Jihun stared at her briefly. And, so does Jang O, but she had a smirk on her face. After a brief moment of staring contest, Jihun answered, it's a dog. She tried hard to be surprised. Ah, a dog, all right, a dog. While Manager Go Eunju tried holding in her laugh. Jihun asked Go Eunju if she was laughing. Covering her mouth, she replied that she is sorry. Jihun stated that he should be the one to apologize for drawing it wrong. He was glad that she enjoyed it. And Song Jihun should quickly revise the character and contact the writer. But Lee Jang O has to stay behind. Jihun wanted to speak for Jang O, but she stopped him. She asked him to leave with Assistant Go. Assistant Go pushed Jihun out of the office and shut the door. Jihun gestured for her to go sit. Both took a seat, across from each other. Jihun opened the lid of the cookie tray. She asked what it was for. He told her that she was the one who asked him to call her if he wanted to throw food away. She didn't seem happy about his gesture. Is this the reason why he asked her to stay? In her mind, she didn't know what the hell he's doing. Is this how he apologizes? Does he feel sorry? Jang O stood up and refused. She doesn't want it. She changed her mind. He was going to throw the food away, so just throw it. Jihun told her to throw it. He only did what she asked of him to do. Jang O refused. She doesn't want to throw it away. He asked, did she really hate being made to work overtime once? Being reminded of it, she turned around angrily and stated, of course. He justified that everyone works overtime like that. She justified that she begged him to let her go home that day and promised to come back to work after 2 hours. Then he asked what kind of household chores did she have. He needs to know that, so he can understand her feelings. In her heart, she screamed, it was your daughter's birthday. But instead, she said, if she tell him, he would judge her on the severity of her chores. And if he's acting like this because he was feeling bad about what happened, he should apologize directly, not offer a few cookies. He asked what he had to apologize for. For that time on Thursday 2 weeks ago, when he pretended to be her father in front of the convenience store, and for the past Thursday when he made her work overtime while sitting next to her. Jihun reasoned that it was her fault for being deceived, and he did what he had to do as a boss. The overtime was agreed upon, so why should he apologize? Jang O stated that because she was deceived, and because her pleas were completely ignored. Because of him, she had to feel emotions that she shouldn't have felt. How could he imitate her dead father? He cannot do that even as a joke. And he forced her to work overtime and sent her information via email. Besides, what did he do that day except sit next to her and watch her work? So, if he apologizes, she will accept it. With a smirk, he asked what if he cannot? She turned around and answered, well, if he cannot do it, then don't do it. It's not going to hurt her right now, but he may regret it someday. In her heart, she has no choice but to give up on the person named Jihun. She decided to work for this company because of him. So if she gives up on him, then she won't have to stay. Turning around to face him one more time, she poured out her grievances to him. You think what you've got is really amazing, right? But to me, even if you gave me everything you have, I wouldn't trade it for everything that I have. Thinking of her daughter, Yenna was her everything. If he's this cold kind of person, she cannot let him meet Yenna because she wanted her daughter's world to be warm. She turned around, heading towards the door. Well, let's stop. I'm going to leave this crap company. The moment I open the door and go out, it's over. Do you understand? She reached her hand out to hold the door handle, but within a second, he was already behind her, grabbing onto her hand, pulling it back. Jang O turned around and snatched her hand away from his grip. They looked at each other in silence briefly before Jihun turned around and said sorry. She asked, pardon? What are you being sorry for? He turned around to look at her again, and hoped to find the courage before replying that he's sorry for teasing her. She asked, and? Wondering why is he obediently apologizing? For making her work overtime, he is sorry. She crossed her arms and asked, then, what is he going to do next? He answered, as you wish. She questioned, as you wish? You know what I want. Jihun turned his head sideways and humphed. He let down his pride to apologize, but it seemed like she wanted to hear more. Jang O continued, what I wish for. When she came back to her cubicle, her colleagues called. She asked what they are still there for. They stated that they were worried about her. And what's she carrying? She stated it's some cookies. The director apologized for making her work overtime last Thursday. Assistant Go questioned, cookie to say sorry? Jang O stated she was about to throw it away. Assistant Go questioned. The director gave her a gift and she was planning to throw it away. Jang O humphed hatefully. Assistant Go vocally voiced Director Jung is also very obnoxious, hateful. At home, Yenna looked at cookies and asked if those were for her. Jang O replied those are all hers. Yenna asked if she could have a bite, to which Jang O told her she may have some. Yenna's eyes sparkled and drool as she looked at the cookies in her hand. She was so excited to eat the cookies while Jang O smiled at her princess. It's from your dad. Yenna took a bite, and delightfully told her mom it was delicious. Jang O watched with satisfaction as the cookies her princess was eating were from her dad. Yenna asked who gave her mommy the cookies. Jang O stated that the director of her company gave it. Yenna questioned, "Only mom?" Jang O replied, "Yes, mom only." Yenna asked, "Does the director like mom?" Jang O replied, "No, he gave it because mom worked a lot of overtime." Yenna hoped he liked mom though. She asked why. Because in Yenna's mind, if he likes mom, then she thinks he'll give her more cookies. The corner of Jang O's lips twitched. "I can buy cookies for you too. It tasted better when I buy it." Yenna asked, "Mom, who do I look like?" The question surprised Jang O. She hurriedly raised her hand up in the air to erase the imaginary image of Jihun, who currently is under the hateful list, and stated, "Can't you guess it? Of course you look more like me." Yenna reasoned, "But mom is good at drawing and doesn't even have a salmon patch," as her cute little hand parted Jang O's hair to expose her forehead. Jang O answered, "That's because Yenna's still a baby and can draw well when she's 7 years old. And the salmon patch disappears when she grows up." Yenna turned around and muttered, "Mom can't play baduk." Jang O answered, trying to hold her frustration, "Once she learns it, she can do it too." Yenna ran to Grandma and yelled, "Grandma." Mom yelled at Yenna. Grandma smiled as she patted Yenna's head. "Your mom felt betrayed because she cannot play baduk like our Yenna." Yenna laughed happily, "Ha ha ha. Mom cannot play baduk." Jang O's heart warmed listening to her daughter's laughter. The next day at work, Jihun and Jang O were having a conversation, and it led to the deleted file on Jang O's laptop. She believed someone intentionally deleted the files that were uploaded to the shared folder. Jihun answered, "There was a culprit." As expected, Assistant Manager Cho's head flopped down as she eavesdropped on the conversation. Jang O sighed. She's glad it turned out she's not at fault. Jihun asked loudly if she's unable to find the culprit. Jang O explained that they can't tell because the culprit works on a shared PC in the printing room. Hearing this, Assistant Manager Cho let out a big relief. Jihun shouted, Assistant Manager, maybe I can catch the culprit." Assistant Manager Cho tensed up again. Jihun explained about fingerprint recognition mouse. "The computer in the print room keeps breaking down. So the computer room changed the mouse to a fingerprint recognition system. The part of the mouse that the thumb touches is stored on the computer. So, it's stored who keeps breaking it." Jang O sounded very excited and stated they should find out. Jihun, holding onto the packet, answered, "Yes. Let's find it quickly, because it is for security purposes. The information is not communicated, but only encrypted and stored on the computer. Information left on that computer cannot be erased." On the packet was a script of the things Jang O and Jihun had just spoken of. They were reading out a play to catch the culprit. On Jang O's computer screen, the script was up. She read, "We need to move quickly. Because it is insensitive information, we cannot guarantee whether the management office will cooperate." Jihun answered, "If it's hard, I'll go with you. My colleague is in the computer management office." Assistant Manager Cho trembled, and she finally had enough. She finally stood up and silently walked out of the office area. Jang O and Jihun thumbs up each other, as it seems like their scheme has succeeded. Assistant Manager Cho entered the dark copy room. She must find the fingerprint information stored in the computer. She doesn't have time to find and delete them one by one. She just needs to solve it quickly so no one will know what she did. IT will be over by breaking the computer. She took out a USB stick, made by someone she knew across the street. Just plug it into a USB port, and it will automatically spread viruses to this PC. With that, she can erase everything. She inserted the USB, even had her thumb wrapped as not to leave fingerprints on the computer. Moving the mouse and doing a few clicks, her goal was done, but there was a shadow hovering behind her. Someone asked, "What's done?" Assistant Cho turned around startled, only to see Jihun and Jang O. Jang O questioned, "What are you doing now?" Assistant Manager Cho Siney. The whole lights in the copier room turned on, lighting everything in the room. Jang O stated, the virus that was on my laptop. Why is it destroying a perfectly good computer?" Assistant Manager Cho stuttered, trying to explain herself. "This isn't like what you think. When I tried to write it, this screen appeared." Jang O took out the USB and questioned, "Then what about this?" This USB belongs to Assistant Manager Cho? The person who deleted the file I uploaded to the shared folder was you. And you're here to erase the remaining fingerprint data from that day? Assistant Manager Cho admitted not guilty and asked, "Do you have any proof? Do you have any proof?" Jang O stated that camera can prove it. Assistant Cho turned around to look at the camera. There were definitely no cameras in the room. When did they install it? She denied loudly, "It's not her." Jang O reasoned, "Okay, let's say that it is not the case." Still, Assistant Cho cannot deny that she didn't plant the virus on the laptop. Assistant Cho shouted, "What kind of nonsense Jang O was talking about? She sounds paranoid." Jang O stated, "They can find out by analyzing the USB. If the file inside is the same as the virus that ruined her laptop, the encryption code must be the same as the virus that broke this computer." At this time, more people happened to arrive to hear the commotion. Jihun asked, "What happened here?" And at this moment, Assistant Cho knew it was game over. She covered her face and started crying. The onlookers started questioning and explaining about the situation, while Assistant Cho remained silent. Jihun told Cho Siney to finish her work, go home, and talk tomorrow. He took the USB from Jang O to look into it. Since it's late, he told the rest of the onlookers to leave if they don't have any more work to do for the day. White Lotus Chai Unbi came and fake consoled Cho Siney. She is sorry about the situation. If there's anything she can help with, to let her know. However, is it because of Cho Siney that her Jihun Oppa worked overtime with Assistant Manager Lee Jang O? With that, she left with another person as they got work today. The next day, people were still talking about it. The IT team checked and found that the virus code on Assistant Manager Lee Jang O's laptop and Assistant Manager Cho Siney's USB were 100% identical. In Jihun's office, he reported the result and questioned Cho Siney. Since the results turned out like this, the company can do nothing. Are you an industrial spy? Or you only have a personal grudge against Assistant Manager Lee Jang O? We no longer can entrust you with important tasks because we cannot ignore the possibility. Assistant Manager Cho will be immediately removed from all assigned responsibilities. Until the disposition is finalized, it would be better to move to the reading room at the management headquarters. A notice was sent to the employees of Cho Siney's status. Jihun whispered to Jang O they should go to the meeting. As they walked to the meeting, Jang O thanked Jihun for his help. Because of his cooperation, they successfully trapped the culprit. Jihun said that if she is that thankful, can he have a request? She told him, "Sure." "What is it?" He said, "Can he call her Nuna?" Jang O laughed, making him wonder if he could or not. She says, "Of course, they can talk and curse at each other." Jihun questioned, Why should he do that towards her? He will always honor her. Unbeknown to them, there is a stalker, stalking them from behind, sulking. He believed he was the one who truly helped. So why is it that she only says thank you to Song Jihun, while she asked him for a favor? What she wished for is to reveal the culprit who planted the virus on her laptop and deleted the files in the shared folder. He found out that the culprit used the public computer in the printing room. He was forced to apologize to her, help find the culprit, and even handle the disciplinary action on Cho Siney. He did everything she asked him to do, so why does the credit go to that guy? And just like that, Director Jung Ji-hun sulked the entire day, until the always bubbly Park Sung-yu walked past him in the hallway. Sung-yu turned around and asked, "What's wrong with your face?" Ji-hun, still sulking, asked, "What's with my face? You look a little more bitter than usual. You sent Cho Siney to the headquarters?" Assistant Manager Lee Jang O must have had a hard time. As they sat down in Ji-hun's office, Sung-yu asked if there was anything going on with Assistant Manager Lee Jang O. Ji-hun remained silent for a bit before telling Sung-yu, "I look like the father." Huh. Sung-yu would need more information than that. There was a slight crack at the door, and there seems to be a shadow in the crack. Ji-hun explained. She said I looked like her late father. Sung-yu felt stunned. If he looks like her father, then there's absolutely no hope, right? He couldn't find any words to make the situation better. They shared a silent moment before Sung-yu came up with something. It's complicated, but it's still more affectionate than dislike. He was trying very hard to find something positive to say. Then the door swung open and Chai Eun-bae yelled, "What did you say? Who did you say you look like?" "Lee Jang O. Right? To Oppa?" And she slammed the door shut. leaving Sungyu shocked again. He stuttered, "Oh, I should get going now. Great work. If you need me, just give me a call. Let's talk about it later." Unbi ran while cursing Jang O as a sly fox. When she arrived at the office area, she called out to Jang O to see her. Without giving Jang O any time, she pulled Jang O away, telling her to hurry up while refusing to explain anything. Jang O had no clue what was happening. Then, Unbi pushed Jang O through the door and shouted, Jang O, now tell him that you have never seen your father. You don't even know who your real father is. Didn't you know that we were freshmen in high school, the cafeteria incident happened, and your mom begged the homeroom teacher? Your mom clearly said that to the homeroom teacher at that time. Please take good care of her. She was born without knowing who her father was. You're a single mother family, right? Or am I wrong? If it isn't, I will apologize. But what? Jihun Oppa looks like your father? Were you trying to scam him? Jihun coldly told Unbi, that's enough. He shouted her name again, Unbi. Then Jang O finally spoke. That's a lie, director. The truth is, it's my Oppa, not my father. Director doesn't look like my father, but you look like my ex-lover. I'm sorry. I lied because I thought it would be worse if I said you looked like my ex-boyfriend. I thought I would look more furious. It won't happen again. With that, Jang O left and shut the door. Unbi thought she did Jihun Oppa a favor. She was proud and said, You almost got into big trouble, Oppa. I told you. She once stole my stuff. That's the kind of girl she is. Hurry up and get her out of the company. Get out. Never interfere in my matters again, Jihun commanded coldly. At the Baduk Academy, our smart Yenna played Baduk and contemplated, I'm good at playing Go. My grandma and mom aren't good at Go. Then why am I good at Go? Could it be that my dad was good at Go? Dobin always talks about his dad. My dad this, dad that, my dad. Is having a dad really that great? I like being with my mom. She asked Dobin, What do you like about having a dad? The obtuse Dobin replied, There's nothing good about it. Nothing at all? She questioned. Dobin answered, Mom says dad earns money so we can live and eat. And what else is good? She asked. He thought about it and continued. It's nice when we go to the bathhouse. Since I'm a boy, I have to go to the men's bath with dad. Yenna concluded, Then I don't need a dad since I'm a girl, right? Dobin added, It's nice when he carries me when we go to the hospital. When I go with mom just holds my hand, but dad lifts me and carries me. Because dad is strong. Yenna, when I become a dad, I will carry my child when we go to the hospital. Dobin was already living in the future in his mind at this point. Yenna then stated, Then she wished she had a dad too. Dobin asked, Should he ask his dad to be her dad too? Yenna thought that probably won't work. Dobin was convinced his dad would do it, though Yenna doesn't think so. After the Baduk Academy, Dobin was walking home with his mom. He told his mom that he and Yenna decided to share his dad. Dobin's mom asked, What does he mean? He explained, You and dad said you love me so much that you would give me anything. I love Yenna, so I want to give her everything too. Since Yenna doesn't have a dad, I'll give her mine. Dobin's mom told him, Then you won't be able to marry Yenna. Is that okay? If you have the same dad, you'll be siblings. Siblings cannot marry each other. Didn't you know that? And just like that, Dobin's world came crashing down. He realized what grave mistake he made. What should he do? He already promised Yenna. He hasn't even asked her to marry him yet. He couldn't propose because Yenna cried on her birthday. Jang O arrived home early. She bought ice cream for Princess Yenna. Yenna was happy. Since she ate dinner already, she can have ice cream. Guksun set dinner on the table. Watching her eat dinner, Guksun asked if something bad happened. Even without telling, Mom knows everything. Jang O explained that she met someone at her work. That person was someone she really hated in high school. Guksun asked why can't they get along? Jang O said that couldn't get along. That dog is a mean-spirited person, but she is still kind of a jerk. Today, they had some friction again, and she was mad. Then Jang O turned flaming. I will never forget this. I'll make her pay. I'll definitely get revenge. Guksun asked, What kind of grudge is this? Did she sell your country, or something? How can someone with a child be so petty? Do you think you're still in high school? Jang O retorted, Oh mom, Do you know what they call a personality like yours? It's called sweet potato in today's world. Even if you forgive and let go, you wouldn't be called a saint. Jang O answered, sweet potatoes are so delicious. We couldn't even eat them back in my day. Guk-sun sighed and wondered how Jang O took after. Yenna answered, Grandma, she takes after you. Mom takes after Grandma. And I take after Mom, right? And the three laughed at how adorable Princess Yenna is. After dinner, Jang O had to go out for a break. Thinking of the past then, making her so angry. Her mom had to beg her homeroom teacher. Mom didn't have to. It hurts her heart. And she had to hear that story right in front of him. It's already painful enough feeling sorry for her mom. She felt so angry that she could only drink her anger away. Then someone spotted her drinking. He was the police officer in charge of Yenna's case. She greeted the officer and asked if he was on patrol. He said he was on his way home after his shift. His house was nearby, which was a surprise to Jang O. He told her if she needed any help, don't hesitate to contact the police. She chuckled and thanked him, but then realized her tears flowed out by itself. He handed her a handkerchief and told her to use it. She apologized. Seeing a police officer made her feel secure. The officer sat down across from her while she wiped her tears and told and confided in him. It's not a big deal. She just had a bad day at work. It's just too hard to see her mom right now. Does he ever have those kinds of days? He said he doesn't, but he can understand. She laughed and said, even the police have long-term unsolved cases. She has something similar like that too, a long-term unsolved case. She thought she had her mom, Yenna. The house with her family is heaven, so she should be happy. Why is she whining and being pitiful alone? Living is suffering. But if you just pile suffering on top of suffering, everything will crumble. But they say that sometimes, for some people, it starts to twinkle above and flower rain falls. That's why she cannot give up. She is not the only. This tough world is full of amazing people. She admires those who wipe away their tears to see the moment when flower rain falls. So she has to overcome this too. She will definitely see her star shining as well. Unbi went to visit Jihun's mother. His mother loves seeing her. She flattered that Mom seems to have gotten younger. Mom also flattered that Unbi was the one getting prettier and blooming like a flower. Mom asked if Unbi is seeing Jihun every day. Unbi told Jihun's mom that just seeing him makes her happy, but they both were so busy that they hardly run into each other. Plus, with Jihun, even though they were special to each other, he seems to keep his distance, worried it might interfere with work. Mom also said Jihun was the same as her. He never smiles. Mom asked Unbi if she should go on a date with Unbi instead of Jihun. She will buy Unbi delicious food and clothes. Unbi was so excited. She asked if they could go on Sunday and praised that Jihun's mom feels more like her own mother. Jihun's mom felt so happy and insisted they hurry up and get married. She wouldn't have any regrets if Unbi, who was like her daughter, had a granddaughter who resembled Unbi were born. Unbi asked if Mom preferred a grandson who resembles brother Jihun. Mom felt even more excited. She likes both. In Unbi's head, someday, one day, Jihun and her will have a child. Jang O and the officer wrapped up their talk. She thanked him. She felt much lighter. The officer was happy he could help. As they walked away, she realized that the officer and her were heading the same way. We're heading in the same direction? The officer replied, indeed. His house is opposite the laundromat up the hill. Jang O stated, she's right in front of it. Having a police officer as a neighbor is very reassuring. The next day, Jihun came by and asked where Assistant Lee Jang O is. Jihun told him she went to the studio to record a radio commercial. Jihun left a message for Jihun to have Jang O go to his office when she returns. Jihun told director Jihun that there is a tasting event for Dawson Liquor's new product today. They plan to move all team members to the event venue shortly. Then his memory came back. He remembered it until yesterday. But when she told him that he resembled her ex-boyfriend, he felt uneasy. He wonders how much he resembles her ex-boyfriend. Enough to be mistaken when drunk? And an ex-boyfriend is just an ex-boyfriend. What's with the tears? Is she still hung up on him? How should he ask her? Can he even ask? To think he would worry about something like this, because of Lee Jang O. While riding in the car, he noticed he got 2 missed calls from Mom. He spoke to his mom, and lots of things flooded back. Mom spoke about Unbi visiting briefly for tea and left. Was there any problem between them? He told his mom that he will tell her soon. Mom said his replies make her anxious. Don't make it too hard on her. Does he know she loves him? She only does this because she cares. Jihun told him he knows. And he loves her too. After hearing that, Mom felt relieved. She asked him to keep in touch often. He tossed the phone aside after he hung up. 3 years of memories disappeared as if cut with scissors. While many old memories resurfaced, was it in the 2nd grade elementary school? There was a friend he wanted to be close to. A lively, smart, and talented friend. He enjoyed taking Go lessons with him. One day, the friend told Jihun that Jihun's mom called his mom to stop playing with Jihun. Jihun went home and cried, but his mom's reason was that the boy has no father. If Jihun hangs out with such kid, Jihun will be badly influenced. His mom begged him not to hate her. She did all that because she loves him. That damn word, love. After disliking the word love, nothing became worthy of love. So there was nothing precious. He asked the driver to stop even though they still have a bit to go. He told the driver he has a headache, so he will walk a bit. The driver stopped and he got out of the car. Somehow he remembered what Sungyu said. Life is easy for you, isn't it? You have nothing precious, and everyone who passes by you means nothing to you. Just like Sungyu said, even after losing a few years' worth of memories, it didn't matter. Is it because he had nothing precious? Something precious. Precious. Remembering what Jang O lectured him, even if you gave me everything you have, I wouldn't trade it for all I have. Do people really have such things? As he made his way through the neighborhood, the sunlights glared through, blinding his vision. Jihun used his hand to shield his eyes, wondering, have I ever been here before? What exactly have I lost? Jang O received a text message from Miran to go straight to the tasting venue. She looked at the address of the tasting venue. It was the neighborhood where she lived during university. After she arrived in the neighborhood, it felt nice to come back after a long time. Although not all memories are good ones. It was a harsh winter. Her body kept changing. The phone remained silent. A winter so tough. She wanted to die. It's winter, but there was a flower bud. And the tears flowed out like river flow. You too. You bloomed mistakenly, swayed by brief warmth. Like her, foolishly believe in love. A love she never even confessed. Yet, 7 years have passed. Isn't it amazing? Now that past means nothing. Jung Jihun. It's okay now. Now, really. And before she reached her destination, she paused, noticing the person walking towards her direction. Director. Why was he there? Like someone visiting the memorial of the deceased. We've met again. Me, who lost you, and you, who forgot me. Why are you here? She asked. Jihun answered that he was on his way to a new product tasting event. The car was stuffy, so he decided to get off nearby and walk. He then asked what she was doing there. She replied that she attended a nearby university, so she walked a bit because it reminded her of old times. He asked what about dinner. She answered that she has not eaten anything yet. He suggested they go eat together. He hasn't had dinner either. She refused and told him no. He should go to the tasting event and point the way to the event. Jihun didn't pay heed. Instead, he took out his phone and started typing away. Seeing that he wasn't moving, she asked, "Aren't you coming?" He said, "Wait a moment. He's getting a lot of calls because of work." She asked, "Since he is busy, should she go first?" He replied a sharp no. Then her phone rang and she answered. It was team leader on the phone. She told Jang O that they are going to be a bit late, so don't go there first. She asked why. Team leaders found a ridiculous excuse that last time it was tough handling the advertiser alone for her. It will take the rest of the team about an hour and a half, so either eat or go home. Got it. Okay, she answered. Jihun pretended to be ignorant and asked, was it team leader Song Miran? What did she say? Jang O stated that team leader said the members might be late due to some issues. Jihun suggested they should go eat then. Left with no choice, Jang O led the director to the restaurant they frequented in their past. Director, please this way, this is the pork cutlet restaurant I used to like. Upon arriving inside, she gasped like she saw a ghost. He asked if everything was okay. Yes, director, this way. To her, it doesn't feel like old times. She thought to bring back his memories and brought him to this restaurant that they used to visit frequently. She didn't expect the interior to change completely. The menu has also changed. After a while, the food was served. The pork cutlet is not what she used to eat. Everything has changed in this restaurant except the name. It's just like director Jihun, but at least it's delicious. While eating, Jihun explained. Assistant Jang O, you don't need to worry about what the manager Unbi said yesterday. I don't care either. She asked, are you worried about my lie? He explained. I understand there were circumstances. I hope you aren't unnecessarily. She wonders if he is apologizing for what Unbi said. She told him, it's okay. Talking about my dad doesn't hurt me at all. He wasn't around since I was born. He asked then, what about your ex-boyfriend? Is he doing well? She paused and asked, what do you mean? Jihun was just curious, is he living well, breathing? She asked, why are you asking that question? He stated, I'm just curious. Everyone said he resembles me. In her head, she screamed, it's not that he resembles you. He is you. But instead she said he's doing really well. He's probably eating something delicious right now. Jihun didn't sound too happy. It's a shame. I was hoping he wasn't doing well. She laughed and answered, no, I hope he's doing really well. I hope he's doing well, but I hope he doesn't have kelp when he's cooking late-night ramen by himself. I hope he stands in line for an hour at a famous restaurant and gets cut off right before his turn. I hope he thinks he won the first prize in the lottery, only to find out that he wrote down the wrong numbers. I hope he works hard on his report for 3 hours and then forgets to save it. But she felt guilty, so she said, no, actually make that 2 hours. And, like that, he found her complaining so cute. He couldn't help but smile. And unknowingly, or pure instinct, his hand reached out about to touch her cheek. At that moment, his action surprised them both. He quickly retracted his hand. To get rid of the awkwardness, she asked him, I told you my story, so tell me yours. You had a car accident, right? A few years ago. He answered, yes, 7 years ago. She asked, were you badly hurt? He answered, I'm all fine now. She asked, you lost your memory, right? He sat his forks down and asked curiously but with a satisfied expression, looks like you know a lot about me. She reasoned, it's not like that. I read an article about it. He argued, but my name wasn't in the article, right? Did you look it up out of curiosity? She had to come clean with him. She blushed and covered her face and said no. The team leader told me. Oops. Please pretend you didn't hear what I just said. He laughed because her reaction was cute and funny to him. I lost about 3 years of memory from 24 to 26. Everyone said my personality changed a bit too. Well, most of those memories were probably usually useless, just military service stuff. You don't know that. How can you say that they were useless memories when you don't even know what you forgot? Did you try to remember? What if you borrow money from someone? He replied, then they would have come to find me first. She reasoned, what if you lent someone a lot of money? He said, there's nothing I can do in that case. At this point, internally, she was feeling so frustrated she wanted to pull her hair out. She screamed, he has no will to recover his memories. After they ate, they left the restaurant. Jang O left first while Jihun went to pay the bill. She thought neither he nor the people around him were trying to help him recover his memories. No, maybe they're trying to prevent him from remembering. An image of his mother, whom she met, appeared in her mind. Anyway, she needs to find out more about his mother. There must be something. She must do her best. She'll try, no matter what. As she stepped outside, flower petals flew to her. A petal fell on her feet, and this brought back a memory of the past. Jihun, on this day, our daughter learned about the seasons at kindergarten. Her daughter pointed to the falling leaves on the ground and said, Mom, this is autumn. Leaves fall down in autumn. A single family leaf represented the autumn season, and little Yenna picked up a single leaf happily. Unfortunately, we cannot share the beautiful moment together. One day, I cried while looking at flowers that bloomed out of season. The season that seemed endless back then, flooded away with a single leaf our daughter found. Someday, will I be able to tell you all of this? Jihun, you need to remember about us on your own. I can't approach you, But if you come closer, I will meet you halfway. So I hope you will try to. I hope you won't give up. Stay strong. Jihun. Once he came down the stairs, she thanked him for the meal. She said she will guide the way to the tasting hall. As they walked, she smiled back at him and said, "And, Director, I hope you recover your memories soon. I believe they aren't useless memories. Perhaps because they are your most precious memories, they have been tucked away, somewhere no one can find. Like a time capsule. Because they're too precious." And somehow those words seem like a new door has opened for him. I have thought about it from time to time. Maybe there was something valuable to me as well. Maybe. Just one thing. And the flashback of when Jang O told him, "Director, I hope you remember." That alone was enough. I never thought someone would understand that secret feeling that maybe that was the reason. She tapped on her phone and then told him, "This way, Director." But as she turned around, she bumped right into him, who was still in a daze, as their bodies touched and their breaths were so close. Even after 7 years, there's something recognizable at a glance. His melodramatic eyes. As she focused on his gaze, he lowered down and about to kiss her. She had butted him on his nose. He clutched his face, calling her name. She asked, "Did you do something wrong or not?" Her forehead was hurt too. She demanded an answer. Did he know he was wrong or not? And proceeded to scold him. "For the sake of your life, Director, let me say one thing. You shouldn't look at anyone without permission. Moreover, you're a man who even has someone to marry." Humph. And she turned around, walking away in a huff. While Jihun was confused. Who's getting married? Confused, Jihun made a phone call to his friend Park Sungyu. As always, Sungyu answered cheerfully, "Hi friend. I was thinking of giving you a call just now too." Jihun told him he has something to ask. "Is there a rumor at the company that I'm getting married?" Sungyu asked, "What do you mean?" Jihun said, "I heard there might be such a rumor." Sungyu stated, "Oh, one thing I heard is that you are a dating manager Unbi. But I don't have any idea about the marriage part. I haven't been with Max planning for long either." Jihun thanked him and hung up. At the headquarters, Cho Saini complained about her tedious work when Jihun approached her. He asked how's working environment. Of course, she has to say it's okay. But she looked nervous. He told her he came to ask something. "Is there a rumor at the company that he's getting married?" She freaked out and stated, "She didn't spread any rumors." He told her he is asking because he wants to know something. She said, "It's more of a known fact than a rumor. That he's getting married to manager Chai Unbi within this year." Jihun concluded that it must be something manager Chai Unbi mentioned. He asked her to share those stories, or any thoughts she heard about him. Assistant Cho has known about it since before Director Jihun joined. In fact, all employees at Max Planning know about it. Jihun almost got married without even knowing it. He needs to quickly correct the rumors. As he stepped out of the elevator, a group of employees came by. Max Planning's CEO Seo Jong-soo grabbed him. "Didn't you say you would prepare the monthly report yourself tomorrow?" Jihun questioned. "When did I say that?" CEO stated loudly, "Let's go quickly. I'll especially assist you. If you do well, I'll have something to show to the chairman." Jihun tried to decline. He has a tasting event, but no one listens to him. He was dragged away. After many hours, he finally finished the monthly report. He couldn't even go to the tasting event and ended up working all night. He planned to go home, get a bit of sleep, and then handle the monthly report, then correct all the mistakes later. But he accidentally clicked on "Don't save." A second later, he realized he forgot to save the work. Remembering what Jang O said at the dinner, he asked, it was a curse aimed at Jang O's ex-boyfriend. So why is it affecting him? Jang O received a message from the secretary Yoon Era for her to go meet Director Jung Ji-hun in the office. Jang O arrived, poked her head first, then turned around to say he wasn't in there. The secretary told Jang O to wait inside for a bit. He's on his way back from the headquarters and should be arriving soon. Jang O went in and waited on the couch. There were also cookies on the table. Why did he bring cookies when he's not even going to eat them? Was it for her to eat? She reached for the cookies and ate them. She shouldn't care too much about what he does, since he's going to marry Chai Unbi anyways. Remembering the tasting event, when she went to the bathroom, Chai Unbi spoke loudly to show off. "Yes, mother. I was at the tasting event. It seems Oppa couldn't come because of work. Ah, it seems like you're talking about the wedding. He mentioned it to me a bit as well, showcasing her rings as she talked on the phone. It was a call with Jihun's mother. Unbi probably doesn't know the situation between her and his mother. Jihun came to the workstation area and called Unbi to meet him for a moment. Her face blushed, wondering what it could be. It's the first time Oppa called her. Did mother persuade him to do this? Is he finally going to talk about the wedding? Inside the office, Unbi was smiling with joy as it seemed like her dream was about to be realized. But her joy was short-lived. Jihun questioned coldly, Unbi, why are you telling people that we are getting married? The expression on her face changed instantly. Tell me with your own mouth. Have I ever asked you to marry me? She stuttered, still. Someday, we might get married. Someday. He retorted. Why would I? You seem to be gravely mistaken. I don't want anything to do with you. She cried. You don't have a girlfriend anyway. Isn't this the most convenient for you? Who you marry doesn't matter. Don't you remember? 7 years ago. If I hadn't reported your hit and run, you would have died. You should be grateful to me for the rest of your life. The one who should be grateful is you, but instead, I'm the only one who's done well. I also call and send gifts to mother every week. He asked, so why go through all that trouble? Have I ever asked you to? She shouted, we agreed to date. You should put in that much effort. Like I do. Jihun replied coldly, Unbi, agreeing to date was just to dismiss that strange rumor from 4 years ago. We just agreed to get along. After that, you should have cleared things up, not let them escalate further. Stop now. Sort this out within a week. I'll turn a blind eye to all your bravado and empty lies up until now. He walked past her to the door. She trembled and pleaded. You shouldn't be treating me like this, Oppa. Look at how I've treated you. He opened the door and made her leave. I'm grateful for what happened 7 years ago. I'll even prepare a reward now, so accept it. Just go. I need to attend the guests. Leave. She scowled at Jihun. You will regret this, Oppa, and stormed out, slamming the door shut. Jang O, who was hiding behind the couch, covered her mouth, in shock. What did I just hear? Jihun and Unbi aren't getting married? Unbi was spreading false rumors? What the hell? What's going on? No, I'll think about it later. For now, I need to sneak out of here. And a voice greeted from above the couch. Dear guest, if you've heard everything, would you please stand up now? She wanted to deny it. She didn't just heard. He knelt down so he could see her clearly. But Jang O's mind hasn't finished processing the information. Really, truly. It's not that I wanted to hear. Honestly, since the director almost made a mistake with me yesterday, can we just call it even with this? He replied, I know. That's why I called to let you know. She clarified, so you were just trying to tell me the truth? Why? Why? So you want me to let everyone stay misinformed? There's no one who will get married. Not yet. He explained. Yes. Understood. So you're telling me the reason that you called me here wasn't about work, but about the misunderstanding? So, can I go now? Since we've cleared up the misunderstanding? Okay, then. Swooshed, she tornadoes out the door, leaving him bewildered. While running, her mind went haywired. So, what's going on? What's all this about? So, you're saying that the story about getting married was all orchestrated by Unbi. She arrived at her office, acting sneakily like she did something bad. Jihun had to ask if something was wrong. Jang O denied. Nothing was wrong. He asked then why was she covering her mouth? Did she eat something alone? She denied. She hasn't eaten yet. In actuality, she was just so surprised. That's why. It turned out that, due to some rumors from 4 years ago, the two people were pretending to be in a relationship. The belief that Unbi would marry Jihun for the past 4 years was because Jihun had no other woman in his life, and he called her to tell her that? Her heart was about to explode. Why are you acting like this, my heart? It feels like the day Yenna and that person will meet is slowly approaching. That's why. At the shopping store, Unbi waited for Jihun's mother, who had yet to arrive. Due to the late arrival, she was having a nervous breakdown and started questioning, Why hasn't she arrived yet? It's already 10 minutes past a scheduled time. Could it be that Oprah revealed the truth to Mother? Eventually, Jihun's mother showed up and she was excited as what she feared would turn out to be false. Jihun's mom apologized for being late due to traffic jam. Unbi said it was all right. As they both walked, Jihun's mother asked her about work. Was she busy and tired? Unbi dropped hints to Jihun's mother that work is fine, but there is an issue with someone. She's having some trouble with a friend. That friend was one of her high school classmates who recently joined as a copywriter. But the friend dislikes her. Jihun's mom questioned how could anyone dislike Unbi? She's so pretty. Unbi faked a laugh and said, maybe it's because she is an assistant manager and I'm a manager. I'm not sure. It might be because I tried to help that friend when their family situation was tough during high school. And perhaps those memories left a negative impression. Jihun's mom consoled her. It seems that gratitude from back then has turned into an inferiority complex. Indeed, given that you're a manager and they're just an assistant manager, they might just feel quite envious of your position. Unbi knew how Jihun's mom thought of single-parent family home. To score a point, she pretended to say it casually. And actually that friend comes from a single-parent household. Even if she tries to hide it, you can often tell when someone has grown up in a single-parent family. It seems like there isn't an adult around to properly point out when things are wrong, which might be why there's an issue. Thinking back to when Jihun was crying and Jihun's mom had advised Jihun to be cautious about the single-parent household. The mom, though, indeed, it seems like Unbi and her understand each other really well. Unbi smiled happily, but her thoughts were so dirty. Mother loves me so much, so can you break up with me, Oppa? And not to mention that's my position that Jang O is always eyeing to take away. Absolutely unacceptable. At Jang O's house, while she was getting ready, Yenna hung out in the room chatting. She told her mom Dobin is going camping with his mom, dad, and Doyun. Jang O asked if Yenna wanted to go camping as well. The thoughtful Yenna said no, she's just talking. Mommy is already busy enough. Even today on a Saturday, Mommy is still going to work. Jang O explained that even though she's busy, they can still go camping. Summer is too hot, so let's go in the fall. And Grandma can go too. Upon hearing this, Yenna got excited and asked if she could tell Dobin. Jang O replied, yes. Then Yenna reached her hand out and asked for the phone. Yenna called Park Dobin, feeling excited to share the good news. Dobin apologized to Yenna instead. Dad says he cannot be shared. So Mom says it's not okay. While Dobin's mom yelled in the back for him to stop. Yenna told him it's okay. She knew it wouldn't be possible, but she wants to tell him. She's going camping too, in the fall, and she is also going over to his place on Monday. Yenna handed the phone back to Jang O. She asked what her daughter said to Dobin. Yenna told Jang O that Dobin said he would share his dad with her, but it's not allowed. She questioned again. He said he would share his dad? Yenna said she didn't ask for it. And this makes Jang O wonder if kids had such conversations nowadays. As she was looking at her phone, wondering if the radio commercial was finished, she noticed that she was missing a work file. She definitely sent up to version 5. But why is everyone missing? She has to send it again. The file is on the company computer. She wondered if Jihun had gone to work, so she tried calling his office. And when somebody said hello on the other side, Jang O started talking away. Jihun, you are at work? Sorry, but could you turn on my computer and send me a file? Please send an email to the studio right away. The password is W. Then the person on the other side spoke, Assistant Manager Jang O. Once she heard the voice more, it traumatized her. The person she was talking to was not Jihun but the director. She panicked and questioned, why is the director answering the phone? The director stated he answered because no one else was around. What's the matter? Did something go wrong? Jang O answered, yes. She missed one of the files from Hodi Studio, which needed to be resent the email. Jihun then stated he'll call again from his phone, then he hung up and called from his phone instead. He told Jang O that he arrived at her desk. He'll take care of it, so please give him the password. Jang O panicked and said, no, 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 no. I'll come quickly and take care of it. I'll arrive within an hour. Jihun stated, didn't you say it was urgent? I know how to send emails, so just let me handle it, okay? Jang O refused adamantly, no, I can do it. The password is personal information, so I can't give it to you. He questioned, How is the password for a company-issued PC considered personal information? And weren't you gonna give it to Jihun? I'm sorry that it ended up this way. I'll listen to the password with one ear and let it go out the other ear, so just tell him the password. After a brief pause, she quickly gave him the password and he typed it in. He was able to get in and sent the email to Hody Studio. She thanked him and quickly hung up. Why is she running away again? He doesn't mean to be pretentious, but it's a bit disappointing. But something feels off. What's this? What's this uneasy feeling? And so he turned around and went back to her desk. He typed out the password that she gave him and it came out to be Director Jung. Thank you. He chuckled happily. Let's wait and see Jang O. The meeting on Saturday was wrapped up. Everyone cheered themselves for a good job before they left the office. Miran and Jang O walked out, bidding each other a good weekend. Jang O then spotted Jihun around the corner down the hallway. She gasped at the mere sight of him, and next thing, she already vanished, leaving Miran confused. She ran back to her cubicle, covering her face. Has the director been at the company this whole since she last spoke to him on the phone? She thought he was long gone since he didn't join the meeting. While she was still thinking, the director approached her desk and called her name, assistantly Jang O. But of course, she couldn't hide from him, so she had forced herself to greet him. Yes, director. Hello. He asked. Do you have anything? She questioned. Pardon, what should I say? He said the password was unusual, especially the Gayan, Sayat. And were you planning to share it with Song Jihun as well? She reasoned that Gayan Sayat means thank you. Unconsciously, I am thankful to you. Jihun smirked and asked, what are you thankful for? She tried to keep up with the facade and answered, there are many things to be thankful for. I'm very grateful for your help today as well. Jihun questioned, if you are so thankful, shouldn't you buy me a meal? She gives him the thumbs up and says, yes, enjoy your meal and just let me know. I will come and pay for it. Who asked you to pay? Enough with the jokes. Let's go have dinner. Jihun suggested, but Jang O couldn't join him. She had dinner plans with her mother, so she was planning to go home early. She is sorry. Then, he will take her home and that worries her, because home to the house where her mom and Yenna are. What if she ran into Yenna, who is playing outside? And no, she has things she needs to do. Since he offered to give her a ride, she should go. She'll get off a bit away from home. Inside the car, he asked if she lives alone with her mother. She said yes, but she cannot talk about Yenna, so she kept that part a secret. Isn't it uncomfortable living together? He asked. She said no. Her mom and her are soulmates. Then she questioned nervously to get a feel of his relationship with his mother. What about you, director? Are you close with your mother? He stated that they have been living apart for a long time, so she asked, does your mother feel uncomfortable? He answered that he prefers being alone. She needed more information than that. So, she asked, don't you dislike her? In fact, you must really like her, right? He told her. He respects his mom in many ways. To her, it doesn't seem like he's on bad terms with his mother. Then he questioned her, which way should he go? She asked him to just drop her right there. She told him she'll be right back and went into the convenience store. She looked around the store and spotted a bag of tangerines. Jihun leaned on the side of the car as he waited for her. She came back out and told him she will walk home since her house is nearby. Then, to thank him for the ride, she gives him the tangerine bag as a token of her appreciation. He can eat it when he gets hungry. Thinking back, there was a time when they missed each other every day, even though they met daily. She used to often put snacks in his pockets for him to remember her. Before walking off, she said, Director, I'm actually good at giving advice. If you ever have a difficult problem, I can listen, whether it's a conflict with someone when work is tough, or just when you want to talk to someone. I can be your friend. She wants to slowly build trust to eventually be the friend who hears the truth. You might feel uncomfortable, especially because I'm your assistant and younger than you. But making a young friend can make you feel younger too. He crossed arms and said, do we have such a big gap that I need to feel young? She stated, of course. There's a 3 years difference. And somehow the answer satisfies him, as it's a sign that she knows him, like him. He said, so you know my age. She stuttered and said, yes, team leader told me. He questioned, come to think of it, team leader Song is quite interested in me. She answered that everyone on the team is very interested in you. Anyways, let's be friends. I'll be your friend. She handed out her hand for a handshake. He reached out his hand for a handshake as well and said, "Sure, friends are good." She felt happy that there's no sign. No doubt she can be friends with him again. She told him to keep the fact that we're friends a secret for now. Unbi keeps misunderstanding things, and it's bothersome. And then he pulled her hand in for a kiss, which made her jaws drop with disgust. She quickly pulled her hand away and yelled if he was crazy or what. This is not something that friends do. Doesn't he have any friends? He doesn't follow the friend code. He answered, unbothered by her reaction. "Oh, I don't have any, so I don't know." She humphed angrily and told him she was going home. Goodbye. With that, she stumped away angrily, while he crossed his arm and smiled, watching her walk away, thinking what a fool she is. She missed all these signals. Anyways, it's good since we are in a boss-employee relationship. Taking it slow is also good. The name doesn't matter, friends, or whatever, as long as I can keep you close and watch over you. He got back in his car and drove away. A phone came through. It was from Park Sung-yu. He picked up and Sung-yu spoke cheerfully. "Hey man, where are you going?" Jihun stated that he's going home after going to the office. Sung-yu asked if he should buy Jihun dinner. Jihun said, "It's the weekend. Shouldn't Sung-yu be spending time with family?" Sung-yu wanted to ask him something. Is he going over to his place on Monday? And that juggled his memory a bit. He remembered making a promise to the little girl last time to see him next Monday. He questioned if it was next Monday already. Sung-yu answered, "Yes. Our Dobin is insisting you to come." Jang O walked home and met Yenna and her mom on the way. She hugged her little girl. They had just come back from the playground. Jang O's mom pondered that she's home early. She said yes because someone gave her a ride. And that person who gave her a ride, on the passenger seat, there was a bag of tangerines. He had just ended the call with Park Sung-yu, promising to be there Monday. Sung-yu thanked him and will definitely pay this favor. Jihun told him to make sure he did. Jang O was asked to escort the director for the meeting that was about to start at 7 o'clock. Jang O went to his office, knocked on the door before letting herself in. She saw that Jihun had put on his suit jacket, getting ready to leave. She asked, "Director, you're not leaving now, are you? You said you were going to decide on the direction of the competitive PT today." Jihun rubbed his brows and stated that something urgent came up. He'll handle it tomorrow morning. Since the planning team hasn't finished preparing the research materials, he'll review both tomorrow. Jang O stepped closer and asked, "What is it?" He told her it's a personal matter. Jang O smelled revenge. Her face scrunched, thinking, look at this. You have me working overtime like crazy on Yenna's birthday, and now this? She asked haughtily, "What kind of personal matter? I hope you can stay until work is finished. This is an important matter for you." He questioned if it was because of what happened last time. He already said sorry back then. She retorted, it was just empty words. And his eyes darted away. Then he told her, "I lack empathy sometimes. This is also because of the accident 7 years ago. Anyway, I never really tried to understand anyone, so it's my fault. I'm sorry. I was really sorry back then." He took a step closer to her and said, "I'm sorry." Then took another step closer and said, "I'm sorry." Then he went in even closer, his face almost touching her face, and said, "Sorry, my friend. Let's clear our minds and see each other tomorrow." Her face was blushing red, feeling how close he was to her. She was rendered helpless with his approach and went back to the conference room alone. Miran asked, "What about the director?" Jang O updated the team that he had something to do today, so they should have the meeting tomorrow morning. Miran readily agreed. Tomorrow is good. The planning team shared the research results, and it turned out they missed some parts. They can organize the work by tomorrow morning. Jihun asked Jang O if she is feeling unwell, since her face is red. She quickly denied. It's not. She's just a bit hot in the office. The drive to Sung-yu's house, Jihun asked if he could just show his face to the kids and leave. Sung-yu asked why. Jihun stated that he is feeling burdened because he doesn't know how to interact with the kids. Sung-yu chuckled and told him, "There are no rules for interacting with kids." Jihun stated he cannot have fun with them like Sung-yu did. Sung-yu explained, You just watch from the side and smile at their level and shake your body a bit. Jihun couldn't imagine what shaking his body would look like. Sungyu said that he is not saying to dance and sing, but to keep moving around a lot when playing with the kids. It'll be a great experience for Jihun. Someday, he will become a dad too. Though Jihun highly doubts that would be the case for him. Just the thoughts of it already give him a bit of headaches. Upon arriving at Sungyu's home, his kids greeted him loudly as usual. Yenna was also there. She looked at him with eyes full of excitement. Sungyu told the kids to say hello to Uncle. Do-bin said hello loudly without any reservation. Do-yoon could barely enunciate hello, but she babbled hello anyways, and Yenna, very reserved and polite, said hello to Jihun as well. Jinseo came to greet Jihun as well. Jihun apologized for the intrusion. She thanked him for coming by despite being busy. They can wait a moment while she prepares dinner. Yenna grabbed Jihun's cuff and told him she was waiting for him. She took him to the table with the baduk set. Yenna stated, "Start from here. We can begin from here." Seeing the game was set to where they left off last time, he was surprised. "Did you remember all of that?" Yenna answered, "Yes." Jihun felt that she's improved since 3 weeks ago. He might actually lose this time. Do-bin watched from the side. Having got a clue, asked Yenna, "Are you winning or losing?" Yenna replied, "I don't know yet." Then Do-bin turned to Jihun's side and yelled, "Wow, what if Uncle loses?" Jihun was focusing intently on the game when a thud sound was heard from the kitchen. It directed everyone's attention. Sungyu yelled out to his wife. Jihun went running to the kitchen to check. Sungyu checked. She was still breathing. The two kids cried as they yelled out, "Mommy," repeatedly. Jihun took out his phone and said he will call for an ambulance. Sungyu said he will get there faster and piggyback his wife out. He told Jihun he was really sorry. He'll leave the kids with Jihun for a moment. The kids were crying, shouting they want to go too. Jihun held Do-yoon while Do-bin clung to him, both bawling their eyes out. Do-bin kept asking if Mommy was going to die. After putting Do-yoon to sleep, Jihun then picked up Do-bin, who was still crying, asking if Mommy will die. Jihun told him Mommy will not. He asked, "How does Uncle know that?" Jihun said he knows everything. After picking up Do-bin, Jihun told Do-bin to hush. What if his girlfriend sees him crying? He cannot let her see that, okay? After some time, he put Do-bin to sleep. Just as he was trying to loosen his arms and shoulder, he felt a gaze gazing at him. He turned to look at Yenna. Her eyes sparkled with expectation as if asking, "Me? My turn? Aren't you going to hug me?" Jihun apologized, saying that he cannot hug her. Her eyes got all teary, asking, as if sending an unspoken message, "Are you really going to hurt the child like this?" He was completely at a loss, and knelt down to her level. "Okay, I'll give you a hug, but let's make a promise. You cannot tell your mom later that your uncle is a bad person. Got it?" Yenna nodded her head. Then Jihun lifted her up. She felt so high up, much higher than when her mommy hugs her. As her forehead rested near his head, he felt that she was a little warm. Jihun touched her forehead to feel the temperature. "Are you hurt? You seem to have a bit of a fever." Yenna said she's not hurt at all. When the bangs parted, Jihun noticed a birthmark. "You have something like this too?" Yenna reached her hand out to his forehead and asked if he had a mark too. He told her, "It's gone now, but there used to be one." After some time, Guksun went rushing to Sungyu's house. Jihun happened to open the door. "You're not the kid's father, are you?" Jihun stated that the two went to the hospital together. Yenna came out calling grandma. She introduced her grandma to Jihun. He bowed to greet Gukuen and introduced himself as Jung Jihun, a friend of Do-bin's father. He came to visit for a bit and ended up watching the kids. As they walked back, Yenna told grandma that Uncle was so tall. She was really high up above when he carried her. Grandma stated Yenna must have had fun playing with him. Yenna answered happily, "Yes," and she won at Baduk, but she knows that Uncle let her win. Then she paused and pointed up ahead. Another uncle. Coming from the opposite direction, the police officer introduced himself. "Hello, I'm Kwon Bail, working at the Wyong police station." He's on his way home, and his house is across from the laundromat. Grandma was immediately smitten. "Ho ho. It's really reassuring to have a police officer living nearby. Let's get along well from now on." After the introduction, they went to their own prospective home. Yenna waved for Grandma to hurry up, while Grandma was still turning back, thinking, he really is tall and handsome. She wondered if Yenna's dad would have been like that. At Cha Yunbai's house, she cursed Jang O's name repeatedly. Biting her nails, she cursed. It's so annoying. Everything would turn out great if only she could get Jang O away from Oppa. As if that wasn't enough to relieve her anger, she tossed the pillow on the floor and complained. I don't want to go to work, but I cannot keep using my vacation days. Wait, there's no way someone is completely without faults, right? If I asked Jang O's old colleagues, wouldn't something come up? But I don't know anyone there. Then something hit her. She went to grab a business card, make the call, and introduced herself to the recruiter. The reason she called was that she's interested in communication. Was it possible to meet with someone from the company? And as soon as possible. Her face looks menacing. I can't wait to dig up dirt on Jang O. At work, Jang O told team leader that she will wrap up and team leader can leave first. Team leader gladly accepted the offer and thanked assistant Lee. Once when Jang O finished up work, she stretched and felt happy that she was done. Just as she was celebrating, someone called out to her, "You worked hard." Noticing who the person that just spoke to her out of nowhere was, made her jump out of her seat. At the conference meeting, someone stated, "I'm so worried about the presentation." Ugh. This sense of responsibility. The preparation is almost complete. Please review the proposal as well, manager. Cha Yunbei grabbed the proposal and reviewed it so she can share her thoughts. After reviewing, she commented, "The proposal is really good, but about the main copy, I miss you. I think it might be too cliché. What does a planning team think? It's an outdated copy. I miss you. There's no insight and it's not creative at all. I thought we should move away from this kind of thoughtless and unrefined copy. Moreover, focusing on mother-daughter relationships. It feels too cliché since the target audience is in their 20s and 30s. I think it would be better to center on couples in long-distance relationships. If I have been in better shape, I could have come up with even better ideas. It's really unfortunate." Jang O sighed and thought, "Oh well, there's nothing to do. It seems like she was planning to attack me, but she misjudged the situation." Cha Yunbei. That copy was assistant Go Eunju's idea. At this point, Go Eunju completely transformed into a mad devil, about to let loose. Jang O gave her opinions. "I thought about long-distance couples too, but it was too short to express within the 15-second ad time. I believe that the love between the mother and daughter is more effective for consumers to grasp in a short time." Cha Yunbei retorted, "I personally don't find it very relatable, even when I imagine this ad." Assistant Go Eunju asked snarkily, "Are you lacking imagination?" Unbi gritted her teeth to hold back her anger and questioned. Assistant Go Eunju and Assistant Manager Jo Saini are participating as stand-ins. "Did you handle the handover well?" This week's trending issues. Crossing her arms, Go Eunju asked, "Will you be attending the meeting today, Manager Cha Yunbei?" Unbi answered, "Yes, of course I would." "Why would you ask that?" Go Eunju smirked and hit where it hurts the most. "I was just worried you might feel uncomfortable. I heard that you broke up with director Jihun. I heard the news when I was headed over to Assistant Cho Saini. That must be heartbreaking for you, especially since you couldn't get married after waiting for so long." Jang O let out a sigh and thought, "Oh, Cha Yunbei, why did you mess with Go Eunju instead of me?" But wait, how does Assistant Cho Saini know about the situation between the two? Cha Yunbei wouldn't be the one to tell Assistant Cho first, right? Could it be? Cha Yunbei bit her lips and questioned, "Did Assistant Manager Cho Saini really say that Director Jung and I broke up? So, are you really believing the words of someone who caused a scandal and got kicked out of the team?" Then she got up and walked out of the conference room. Go Eunju, still emanating dark auras, snickered. "You dare to mess with me? Is she trying to get attention because she's feeling lonely after breaking up with the director?" Cha Yunbei went to the headquarter library where Cho Saini was stationed. Cho Saini saw Unbi coming and asked what brought her there, but in hindsight, she scoffed and thought, "It seems she came to confront me about how I blabbed about the fake marriage promise. If she truly has no connection with Director Jung, then I have nothing to fear." Unbi changed her personality completely, like a caring white lotus. "How have you been? I really missed you very much." Assistant Cho was my closest friend. It feels like I've lost a part of myself. Did you hear anything from Jihun Oppa? Anyways, Assistant Cho Siney. It's not true. We're just dealing with a complicated situation right now. There's a real culprit behind it. We talked about it in our bathroom once. Don't you remember? Me and Assistant Cho's intuition was spot on. Do you understand how I feel? Assistant Cho got bought and gasped in shock. So you're saying that Assistant Lee Jang O stole Director Jung from you? Unbi wept and stated, I really feel so frustrated and speechless about what to do, huh? Anyways, I'll explain everything someday. Until then, let's get through this together. I'm really upset and frustrated, but I will overcome it. The fact that Assistant Cho is here right now is all because of Lee Jang O. Let's all get through this. Let's stay strong and restore everything to how it was, okay? Side note, that Chai Unbi is dangerous. Jang O met Jihun halfway. She went to escort him to the meeting since he couldn't make it the night before. Jang O asked Jihun if he was the person that told Assistant Cho Siney about the rumor that he's getting married, which was started by Unbi. Jihun diverted his eyes as he remained silent. Jang O's jaw dropped. So it was really you? You told Chai Unbi to sort it out within a week. So, you never intended to wait for it to be sorted out. Impressive. Truly impressive. I didn't know the true nature of this man 7 years ago. Jang O was the last one to finish the meal and last one to leave. As she pushed the door out, Chai Unbi surprised Jang O by appearing from behind out of the blue. Lee Jang O, do you know why Jihun Oppa is showing interest in you? It's because of you. Lee Jang O, it's because it's you. Jang O turned to look at Unbi wondering, what did she want to say that made her wait until I finished eating and came out? I guess I should hear her out of courtesy. Unbi with her fake facade stated, Oppa was born into a chaebol family, so he has an innate sense of empathy. Coming from a single-parent family and having nothing, it's understandable that he might feel sympathetic towards you. Did you try to look more pitiful on purpose? Is that your only competitive edge? Jang O sighed, looking at Chai Unbi like she's far gone. I shouldn't have listened to her. As she walked down the stairs, Unbi followed her as she continued to pour out her ugly heart. But you know, no matter how uneducated you are, there are limits. How could you go after a friend's man and things? Jang O paused and turned around to face Unbi, questioning. A friend's man? Unbi answered, it's a bit much to call us friends, isn't it? Anyways, it's not good to take someone else's man, Jang O. Jang O chuckled and stated, right? Thanks for the advice. Now that you mention it, I guess it's because I'm Jang O. But so what? You must be really anxious not to receive even that kind of attention. You can never be Jang O, after all. And, someone else's man? Someone else's property? How is that person yours? He's never been yours, has he? Jang O's statements left Unbi speechless, unable to rebuke, except to remain silent. Jang O rolled her eyes, as the truth was revealed right before her. So they really had nothing to do with each other. She went up the steps to be on the same step with Unbi, crossed her arms and declared haughtily, You're the one who's hopelessly obsessed with someone, Unbi. You'll never be able to have Jung Jihun. He's my man. What she actually meant was, he's the father of her child. Sorry for speaking carelessly about you, Jung Jihun. Unbi trembled with anguish. She couldn't say anything back as her relationship with Jihun was done all in her head without actual truth. Unbi walked away without any remorse. Jang O scoffed, Humph. She's not sorry at all. Not even a little. Then a voice laughed. Yeah. Jang O ran down the stairs and looked over the side rail to only see Jihun leaning on the stairwell, looking at her with a satisfied expression. Thinking of what she just said and done, she covered her mouth in horror. Have I gone crazy? Jihun smiled and said, You speak very well. Jang O's mind was spinning like a whirlwind, thinking, what should she do? She pointed ahead and shouted, Hey, look over there. The second his attention was diverted, she torpedoed away. She needs to run away. To think she would lie. How ridiculous. Jang O cried as she ran and scolded herself 1,000 times. To think I would do the same thing as Chai Unbi. He's a man who never even said, I love you, once in 7 years. So how could I say, my man? We barely became friends, and now I've done something like this. He's my man. Jang O, you idiot. Upon arriving at the office, she swooshed to team leader and asked if there is any field work she can do. Startled by her desperation, team leader stated that the AE is going to the Sali Telecom meeting. Does she want to join? Jong O swooshed away, yelling, yes. Thank you. I'm heading out. Team leader watched Jong O run out the door, heading for the staircase. She wonders what has gotten into Jong O. Just as Jong O disappeared, Jihun appeared around the corner. Team leader looked at Jihun with the same questions. Director, is there something going on? Jihun answered, no, please continue your work. Jihun walked around with a lighter air than usual, smiling to himself. You threw that out there and then left me hanging. He was very satisfied with her declaration. Upon arriving at the lobby of his office, there was someone waiting for him. Chai Unyip, what's going on? Unyip answered, nothing. He just came by briefly while he has business in the building next door. Jihun invited him into his office. They took a seat on the couch, but Jihun looked different than usual, which was confusing to Unyip. Curious, he had to ask, what is it? Jihun replied, it's nothing. Why ask? Unyip stated, he's been smiling the whole time, and he seems much brighter than usual. Currently in Jihun's mind, all she could think about repeatedly was Jong O's declaration, he's my man, but instead, he told Unyip that something interesting happened. It's just a personal matter. Unyip forced a smile. Then Jihun asked if he heard from Unbi. Unyip asked, about what? Jihun answered, they are going to stop the fake relationship. Unyip questioned, what do you mean by that? Jihun asked him, did you know that Unbi has been going around saying that she's going to marry me? Unyip tried to ease the topic and asked, how about just getting married? You don't have a woman you're close to anyway, right? I'm not saying just because she is my sister, but Unbi is really kind. Jihun stated, she deserves to meet her true match. Jong O arrived back at her cubicle, mentally exhausted and drained. Before she calms down, Jihun told her that director Jung Ji-hun is looking for her. He said to go to the office right away when she returned. With trembling hands, she wrote out a resignation letter. She felt sorry. She could not do this anymore. She would like to move on to a new job. A colleague peeked over and saw her writing a resignation. Jong O thought it would be reassuring to carry this with her. Go Eun-ju asked if Jong O made a mistake again. Jong O stood up, with sparkly eyes. She asked, Assistant Go Eun-ju, you know I really like you, right? Eun-ju answered, let's go. Jong O cried, ah. Assistant Go is truly an angel. Jihun asked, should I go with you? Jong O answered, I would appreciate it if you do. The three arrived at the director's office full of fighting spirit. Director, I've come because you called. Jihun stated, he didn't call for Song Ki-hoon and Assistant Go Eun-ju. Jong O reasoned, Assistant Go also has something to report, so Song Ki-hoon will hear it too. Eun-ju handed the project to Jihun. He quickly approved. The design draft for the new product package Dawson Liquor. We shall proceed as is. Is that it? Eun-ju answered yes. And then everyone shared silent stares, as there was nothing else to report. Jong O nervously questioned, Director, is there something you want to say to me? He asked. I heard you went on fieldwork to Sali Telecom. Does it align with the current production direction? Jong O reported, yes. The representative from Sali Telecom prefers storytelling. It seems we can proceed with our preparations as planned. Jihun tapped on the desk and dismissed the group. He's definitely angry. Jong O was the last one to leave, but Jihun was much faster. He trailed right behind her and closed the door before she could set foot out the door. Ki-hoon hesitated and asked, Assistant Lee hasn't come out yet. Eun-ju answered, there's probably something to talk about. Ki-hoon reasoned, they still needed to protect her. Eun-ju reasoned, they've done enough. They should go. The door remained shut by Jihun. He was waiting for her to make the first move. Eventually, Jong O tried explaining. Director, the reason I said that is, he questioned, whose man am I? What gave you the courage to say something like that? Jong O turned around to face him. But she couldn't find a reason to tell him. In the end, All she could say was, "I'm sorry. I'll go to Unbi right now and tell her that I misspoke." He leaned his head an inch away from her and muttered, "If you claim I'm yours, you should take responsibility. Don't you think so, my friend?" Then, he leaned in to kiss her, kissed her deep, even pulled the back of her head to steady the kiss. Jang O's mind rejected the action. "No, this isn't right. I was just trying to start as friends. So why did it end up like this?" He parted his lips away from hers for a breath break. There was something she overlooked. The time that passed, since she gave up, made her overlook something so simple, that this man could approach her with the same heart as he did initially. That he could once again become the man from 7 years ago, the one who was insatiable and desired her at every moment. But right now, just as he went back for another kiss, she blocked his lips with her hands and reasoned, "No matter how urgent his situation was, you shouldn't have done that. It's not about agreeing to be a fake boyfriend, but refusing a fake marriage promise. It's more than that. Because of your wrong choice, Unbi ended up like that. Both were wrong. Both. In the end, you made it hard for me to reach you." He held her hand, smiled and said okay. Jang O pouted and wondered why he was laughing. What is he going to do now? She flailed her arms in another attempt to elaborate more. "I mean, you must reflect until the Chai Unbi situation is resolved." His face radiated happiness and said, "I understand." She added, again, "You cannot do that. You casually say you understand and lie. And when that gets exposed, you enjoy it again." Jihun answered, "I understand." She felt like she was not reaching him. She lectured, "Seriously, this isn't the time to be laughing. What did you understand?" Holding onto her hand and leaning in closer to her, he said, "I know." That Li Jang O's words have become shorter and then kissed her again. After kissing her again, he said, "But I'm not your man yet, am I? Make me your man quickly. Make me yours." She could only pout and let him lead. At Sungyu's house, while he was washing the dishes in the kitchen, his wife was resting on the couch. She held on to the ultrasound photo. A third baby. She seemed depressed. They're having a third child. Sungyu wiped his hand and went to hug her. Jinseo asked, "I'm not the only one struggling, right? You must be having a hard time too." Sungyu apologized, "Honey, I messed up." Jinseo's eyes sharpened and scolded. "Messed up? The baby can hear. You shouldn't say such things. A child should be blessed. By the time our Dobin hits puberty, the third one will only be as big as Doyun." Sungyu felt guilty about the first one being a surprise, and now suddenly a third one. He encouraged his wife, "Honey, I'll do well. I'll take parental leave, or whatever it takes. I'll do anything. Don't worry too much." Jinseo answered, "You'll do well. I know you will. You're doing great already. I just..." Not, "Let's just live well," Sungyu. Her frustration that she couldn't say out loud. Every time she has a child, it feels like her life changes. Now, she's stepping into a third different life. At Chai Yun-seup's office, Unbi arrived as per his call. She asked what he asked her for. Seup looked frustrated thinking of her situation. He got up and confronted her. "What the hell did you do? What the hell did you do for Jung Jihun to say he's done with this fake relationship with such a disappointed look on his face?" Unbi cried and asked, "Jihun Appa really said that?" While looking disappointed, Seup grabbed her by the arms and shook her. "What on earth happened? Do you have any idea how much effort I put into getting the two of you married? Now that we've come this far, I cannot give up out of spite." He has to make Unbi marry Jihun no matter what. Unbi told Unyip with hatred on her face that it's because of that woman. After that woman joined the company, Jihun Oppa became strange. She told him he resembled her dad, and then she said he resembled her ex-boyfriend. She keeps trying to seduce Jihun Oppa. Unyip shouted for clarification. "What are you talking about? Speak so I can understand. Is Jung Jihun the type to fall for someone like that?" The frustrated Unbi shouted, "That's why it's strange. You're the one who's doing it. You've always dealt with the women who flirted with Jung Jihun. 4 years ago, you were the one who spread the rumor that Jae-hun and I were dating. You're good at that kind of thing, right? Do something. Seduce her, toy with her, anything. He asked what's her name. She said with gritted teeth, Jang O. Production Team 2 Copywriter Assistant Manager, Jang O. The name shocked Unbi. Jang O. It cannot be. Unbi enters a cafe. Someone greets her. Miss Che, over here. Unbi stands facing two women. One woman gestures politely as she introduces. Miss Che, this is Miss Ji Nam from the H Communications. Miss Che bows slightly. Bow. She responds, hello, I'm Unbi from Max Communications. Seated at a table with a drink in front of her, Unbi places a hand near her chest as she begins explaining. The reason I asked to meet you is, I'm not sure if you know, but my boyfriend is the executive director of Max Communications. Miss Nam replies, oh, I see. Unbi explains, yes, so no matter how hard I worked, I felt I wasn't being appreciated solely for my abilities. The other woman answers sympathetically, ah, yes, I understand. Unbi thoughtfully touches her lips and says, oh, now that I think of it, didn't you and Miss Jong O work together before? Miss Nam looks surprised and responds, Miss Lee? Oh, right. Max Communications acquired Sang-A Productions. She then asks, is Miss Lee working there now? Unbi replies, yes, right in the next team. Miss Nam asks, is she well? She's so bright and talented, isn't she? Unbi hesitantly agrees, yes, I suppose so. Miss Nam continues speaking animatedly. She's quick, pretty, and smart. This is a secret, but we used to have clients who were interested in her. If only she didn't have a child, she would have been hit on all the time. Unbi stiffens in surprise and responds softly, huh? Miss Nam elaborates, oh, didn't you know? She has a really cute daughter. She must be around 6 years old now. Unbi's hands tremble around her glass of coffee as if she discovers a disadvantage against Jang O. The liquid shakes as she absorbs the shocking revelation about Jong O's child. Miss Nam covers her mouth, looking worried, and says, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Unbi quickly forces a small reaction, waving it off as if steadying herself, and replies, oh, it's fine. I knew that too. I remember hearing it. Unbi looks menacingly as her inner thoughts surface. Huh, Jong O Lee, you sly snake. You dare hit on my man when you have a kid. Jong O sits at her office desk, staring blankly at her computer while typing. She looks dazed and distracted. In her thoughts, she murmurs, goodness, Jihun Jong. What's happened over the past 7 years for you to act so seductive? A soft, glowing flashback shows Jihun leaning intimately toward her, their faces inches apart as he holds her close. Back in the present, Jong O's cheeks faintly flushed as she reflects quietly. Even though we've changed so much from who we were 7 years ago, some things remain etched into us, impossible to erase. Jong O puffs her cheeks slightly, lost in thought, her fingers touching her lips. She thinks, he must be feeling elated by now since I acted the way he wanted me to. She suddenly slaps her own cheek lightly, trying to snap out of it. Determination replaces her flustered expression as she thinks, wait, now's not the time for this. I need to think about what to do next. Things ended up this way somehow, and now Jihun's mother will disapprove of me even more. Plus, I still don't know who tried to kidnap Yenna. A close-up of a note overlays the image of the child, with the words, she has your looks and her father's personality. The name, Seryun, is faintly visible beneath. If Jihun's mother wasn't the one who wrote that note, then that person might have wanted to erase my existence and take Yenna for themselves. It might even lead to legal disputes. Should I hire a lawyer? She looks down at her phone. A message reads, I'm out on business, but I'll come back to the office to pick you up. She stiffens as she reads it. She replies in a series of firm text, no, I'm going home by myself. And no personal messages while we're in the office. Never. I don't want anyone finding out. Jihun, calm and composed, with a knowing smile. He remains silent, simply absorbing her response. The man sits across from another suited man on a sofa. He asks, Mr. Jong, you seem to be in good spirits. Jihun asks, do I? The man answers evenly, yes, very much. Jihun's mind can only think of Jong O shouting, I don't want anyone finding out. Contrasts with the present scene. The other man ends the discussion with, thank you. It's just that the employees here are performing so well these days. Jihun replies, haha, I see. You must be proud. The other man asks, oh, Mr. On made a promising proposal last time, but I forgot to follow up on it. Would you mind if I asked about it now? Jihun responds, did he? I'll ask him right away. Jihun holds his phone to his ear, thinking he's not answering. He looks mildly concerned. His phone shows the time as 4:35 p.m. He types a message. Is Mr. N not in his seat? I can't seem to reach him. A reply comes. No, he isn't. Shall I ask him to call you if I see him? Jihun responds. Yes, thank you. Jihun suddenly pops up behind Jihun's cubicle partition, peering over her monitor as if he is really there. So, is no one in production team 1 currently at their desks? A phone screen shows a text exchange at 4:50 p.m. So, is no one in production team 1 currently at their desks? At 4:53 p.m., Jang O replies, no one's in their sheets. The typo stands out awkwardly. Jihun stares at his phone and blinks, momentarily confused by the message. Jang O panics, flailing and blushing as she quickly corrects herself. I mean, their seats, she screams again in embarrassment. Their seats. Mr. Jong lowers his gaze and breaks into a subtle smile, letting out a soft, amused chuckle. The other executive smiles and says, you seem to have a lot of fun things going on. Mr. Jong clears his throat, ahem, and explains, oh, sorry. My employee just sent a message with a typo, and it's very funny. The other man chuckles and remarks, other executives would scold their employees in a similar situation. I envy your employees. Mr. Jong replies politely, thank you for your compliment. A hallway sign reads, Production Team 2. At her desk, Jang O sits stiffly while she screams internally, aw. The words in their sheets repeat chaotically behind her. She thinks miserably, I'd wanted to seem flawless. But I went and made a silly typo. A coworker in a red blouse approaches and asks, Miss Lee, do you have a moment? Jang O turns in her chair and responds quickly, oh, yes. The coworker explains, I thought about the affiliate cooperation proposal Mr. Jong mentioned earlier, and I wanted to ask your opinion on it. She reviews the information and praises the ideas enthusiastically. Wow, all these ideas sound amazing. They're genius. Why don't we show them to Mr. Jong as they are? The colleague says, oh, thank you. Would that mean I'd have to work late next to him too? Jang O chuckles and teases, huh? Do you want to? The colleague trembles and blurts internally, no, not one bit. Mr. Jong appears walking through the office aisle. The coworker notices and says, oh, it's Mr. Jong. Jang O thinks dramatically, speak of the devil. Mr. Jong's polished shoes step forward in the hallway as he says, it's 8 already. Let's not stay any longer and head home, everyone. Employees react with relief. Team leader Miran claps her hands and says cheerfully, all right then, let's wrap it up here and head home. Voices respond enthusiastically, yes. Jang O volunteers, I'll clean up the meeting room. While thinking, since I made the most mess, Miran replies brightly, okay, thank you, Miss Lee. In the meeting room, Mr. Jong slides the glass door open and remarks coolly, as a copywriter, shouldn't you avoid making typos altogether? Or is it that I was too dull to understand your text? It's okay as long as we don't let anyone in the office find out, right? Let's go. I'll take you home. Jang O frowns, thinking, but we're still at the office. I told him not to let anyone find out. And here he is, teasing me about it. Not to mention I told him I would go home by myself. He offers, I'll carry that. She refuses softly. No, that's fine. Keeping her distance. Despite her protest, he walks behind her carrying a box while she clutches her folder. In the hallway, Unbi passes by the hallway, not noticing them. Jang O startles internally, huh? Did Unbi arrive now? This late? Unbi smiles sweetly and explains, I regained my energy after I took some meds, so decided to stop by. I felt bad about not being able to work at the office, you see. Miran says, Miss Che, you should have taken the day off. We all decided to head home early too. Go home and rest. Unbi replies politely, I suppose I will. I'm sorry, Miss Song. I'll get back to working hard starting tomorrow. Unbi casts a subtle sideways glance, toward Jang O. With a faint, snarky smile, Unbi remarks pointedly, Miss Lee, your daughter must be thrilled to have you home early. A heavy silence crashes over Jong O's face. Mr. Jong Jihun abruptly stops walking. In the open office, someone voices the question aloud. Miss Lee has a daughter? Unbi replies, yes, I heard from my friend who used to work with Miss Lee. Jong O lowers her gaze slightly as Unbi continues. She said she has a pretty 6-year-old daughter. A coworker laughs. Haha, I thought Miss Lee was unmarried since she's so pretty. Who knew she had a 6-year-old daughter? Is that true, Miss Lee? Are you married? Jong O steadies herself as she answers firmly. I am unmarried. I have a child, but I never married. I'm a single mom. Unbi covers her mouth and pretends to be sympathetic. Oh, you're a single mom? I'm sorry, she adds softly. I didn't know that. Jong O answers calmly and steadily. It's okay, you don't need to be sorry, because I don't think it's something I need to hide. And my daughter really is very beautiful. Unbi clasps her hands and exclaims brightly. You're so cool and brave. Miss Lee, I could never have made a decision like that. Anyway, you must be so happy to have a beautiful daughter. I think you're amazing. Miran interrupts. Sir. I have something to discuss with you about the presentation. May I? Jihun responds simply. Let's go. Jong O watches them move away. Jihun leans over Jong O's desk and asks, Miss Lee, you're going home, right? Would you like a lift? She answers politely. Oh yes. Thank you. Footsteps echo in the quiet lounge area. Inside, Myram begins. Sir, what I wanted to discuss is, perhaps for this presentation, Miss Che should be, Jihun asks. Could you wait just a moment? He turns and walks off decisively. His abrupt departure leaves the unfinished sentence hanging. As he comes around the corner, he hears conversation. Miss Lee, are you okay? Without hesitation, Jong O answers, of course. He suddenly stops, his expression tense and unreadable as he processes everything. Jong O and Jihun walk together. Jihun says, I'm relieved to hear that. But I'm so angry. She asks quietly, why should you be angry? He replies, because of Miss Che. I didn't think she could be that mean. He sighs, regret in his voice. I never thought this is how people would find out. Hoped I'd be able to protect you. Jong O turns to him with a gentle smile and reassures him. I'm fine, really. Thank you for your concern. Jihun asks, shall we go down to the parking lot together? Or would you like to wait on the first floor? She answers, let's go down together. Jihun's fist tightens, watching at the two's retreating figures. In the restroom, Unbi stands at the sink, applying lipsticks. Annoyed, Choi Eun-go scolds. Should have kept your mouth shut if you don't even know the whole story. Touching up her makeup, Unbi scoffs inwardly. Huh. Why does everyone in production team too have to be so senseless? Aren't they the ones who don't know anything? A phone rings. Unbi answers. Yes, this is Unbi Che. A voice asks, Miss Che, can we talk? She responds, yes, Mr. Jong. Her heart pounds, thump thump, as she thinks. Now Jihun will want to hear all the details. She straightens, bracing herself. She steps forward with a bright smile and says sweetly, Jihun, what's up? Her pulse still echoes, thump. Inside the office, Mr. Jong speaks firmly. You don't have to do the solely telecom competitive presentation anymore. We decided not to include you. Unbi stiffens, staring at the floor. She asks quietly, why? He replies, I guess because we don't need you. You can concentrate on your own work. She forces a composed expression, though a bead of sweat betrays her nerves. Fine. I didn't care much for a project mainly led by Project Team 2 anyway. Then she asks, okay, is that all? Jihun stops in front of Unbi and asks pointedly, am I yours? That's what you told Miss Lee. Am I yours? Unbi looks shocked. She asks, did Jong O say that? Jihun admits, I heard you two talking in front of the restaurant. A memory overlays the scene. Unbi confronts Jong O. She thinks tearfully, but I'm not the only one who said that. She said you were hers too. Even after hearing all that, you're still just coming after me? Why only me? He warns sternly. I told you to clear up the lies you told, but you went and spread more lies. If you keep this up, I'll have to take legal action. Unbi retorts nervously, But Jihun, don't you want to thank me? He asks coldly, for what? Smiling tensely, she says, Jong O said you were hers too. She's been constantly lying to you, and I let you know that she's actually a single mom. Jihun flinches. His expression turns furious and dark. He snaps, Unbi, shut your mouth, will you? That night, Jang O sits on her bed beside her sleeping daughter in a softly lit room. She gazes down at the child tenderly, quiet and contemplative, as moonlight fills the peaceful space. Her phone buzzes with a call from Miss Miran Song. She answers, yes, Ms. Song. Miran asks, Miss Lee, are you okay? Jang O reassures her, of course, don't worry. Miran explains, I told Mr. Jong that I think it'd be better to exclude Miss Che from our competitive presentation since she wouldn't be very helpful, and Mr. Jong agreed. Jang O responds softly, okay. Miran continues, Miss Che was very rude today, wasn't she? I heard that Miss Che and Mr. Jong broke up. I think she was taking that out on you. Still, stay away from those rumors, Miss Lee. I know I should mind my own business, but I don't want you to get hurt. Give them some time to clear things up. That'll make things easier for you. Yes, thank you. You don't need to worry about me. Good night, Miss Song. Miran answers, all right then. Good night. Alone in the quiet room, Jang O reflects. It doesn't matter. In fact, it's probably for the better. If rumors about them breaking up are circulating, it'd be risky for my name to be tied to it. It's a good thing to distance myself from them like this. Regardless of how chaotic my life gets, I'll keep going, day by day. Because what matters to me is my daughter, Yenna. She kisses her daughter gently and softly whispers to her sleeping child, Princess Yenna. Sorry mommy couldn't play with you today. I'm sorry. I love you. At the law firm, Che Yunyap works late at his desk. His phone vibrates, showing an incoming call from Jihun Jong, mobile phone. Che Yunyap says, oh, Jihun. What's up? Jihun replies, hi, Yunyap. You met with Unbi, right? Yunyap asks, did she tell you? Jihun replies, no, I just assumed. Did you tell her properly? Yunyap responds, tell her what? Jihun answers coldly, to stop telling lies. I assume she'll listen to her own brother. I told her last week, but apparently, she's been telling people I'm hers. You know that's defamation, right? Yunyap drops his pen and forces a strained smile and says, I'll talk to her again. Jihun replies, thanks. I'll leave it to you then. Also, this call is being recorded. I hope you aren't offended. Yunyap grips the paper on his desk as it crumples. He protests, you're recording this? But I'm your friend. Isn't that a bit harsh? Jihun responds calmly, sorry, but everything my friend's sister did to me made me realize how frightening the world can be. That's all. But Yunyap sits rigidly at his desk, trembling, silence hanging in the room as he stares ahead. A loud crash echoes inside the office room, startling a woman staff member walking by. The office door opens with a creak. A woman steps in and freezes. She begins, sir, what's? Books, papers, and objects lie scattered across the floor. Yunyap stands stiffly and orders coldly, clean this up. He grits his teeth. His thoughts burn with rage. That arrogant bastard. How dare he threaten me? 7 years ago, when Jihun was in a coma, I found out that his mother was secretly looking for a voice actor. I sought out the actor and approached him with several feigned accidental encounters. Flashback to a bar. Yunyap met someone. I work at a law firm consulting large companies. Dealing with the children of major company chairmen is always challenging. One man asks, were any of your clients ever from extremely wealthy families? At the bar, the young man laughs lightly, haha, and says, yeah, rich families tend to have some pretty strange folks. I don't know anyone personally, but I did get to meet one for work. They own some kind of food product company. And wow, their house even had a fountain. He goes on. Anyway, I got to know the wife, and she gave me a call, so I went to work for her. But she made a very strange request. She gave me a phone and asked me to call someone and speak harshly to this girl I don't even know. Yunyap grips his glass and repeats in disbelief, speak harshly? The young man recalls the scripted threat in a darkened tone. Will you stop calling me? I've had enough. You'll regret it if you call me again. Yunyap flinches. A realization strikes him. His voice sounded exactly like Jihun's. The young man finishes, those kinds of things. You get the picture. Sitting side by side at the bar, the young man cautions, but you can't tell anyone about this. Yunyap replies smoothly, of course. As an attorney, keeping secrets is my second nature. Yunyap smirks as understanding dawns. He says, Mrs. Jang, so that's what you've been doing behind your son's back while he's unconscious. She was looking for an actor to get rid of a girl. Yenna asks, was it only that one time? She didn't ask for anything else. The young man laughs, haha, and answers, I haven't heard from her since. I'm curious whether my acting worked out. Yenna responds, wow, rich people really are on a whole different level. How could they ask you to say something like that to a total stranger? The young man adds, oh, but I do remember her name. Jang O. That was her name. A silhouetted image of a long-haired woman appears as he reveals the name. In the office hallway, Jihun walks ahead in silence while his friend hurries after him, holding a bag and looking startled. The friend catches up, taps Jihun's shoulder, and calls out brightly, Jihun, totally oblivious to cold energy from Jihun. As they walk side by side, the friend says, thanks for your help last time, my good friend. It turns out, we're having a third child, and I'm worried because my wife seems to be having a hard time. Jihun keeps his gaze forward as if he lost his soul. The friend tilts his head with concern and asks, what's wrong? Did something happen? Stopping by a door, Jihun turns and asks directly, could you find out about Jong O? The friend looks confused and asks, Ms. Lee? Why? Jihun answers calmly. It turns out, she has a child. She's a single mom. I just need some basic information. Who she's living with, if she's seeing someone, or has in the past, and if they're still together. The friend hesitates and says, that's not basic at all, my friend, Jihun replies firmly. I'm going to look into it myself, but if you can, try to find out who the guy is. You're the only one I can trust. Please. The friend stares back, surprised and slightly flustered. He thinks, well, this is the first time I've ever been asked to do something like this. A slide titled Solely Telecom Presentation Prep appears on screen. The friend sighs. Looks like we'll be working all night from now on. Another voice adds, at least the deadline isn't too far away. Let's do this. The friend agrees. You're right. We've got this. The days were counting down. As the day gets closer, Jong O rehearses her presentation. Walking down the hallway together with documents in hand, Jihun smiles playfully and says, Miss Lee, our shirts match. Don't we seem like a couple? She glances at him, slightly flustered. She answers firmly, stop that. Everyone already knows I'm a mom. He asks, where did you buy yours? She replies, just near my house. I got two in different colors. As they walk, he jokes, well, people might already know that I have a crush on you too. She nudges him and says, gosh, you really know how to push my buttons. He grins and responds, hee hee. They suddenly notice Jihun ahead in the corridor and freeze. Facing Jihun, they bow and greet him respectfully. Hello, sir. Jihun steps past them, his hand sliding into his pocket as he moves by without lingering. Holding her clipboard, Jong O reassures herself, I'm okay. A faint ache underscores her discomfort. She steels herself. I'm strong enough not to let these kinds of things bring me down. The D-Day has finally arrived and circled in red, on the 15th for the Solely Telecom conference. In a meeting room, Jihun explains, the launch schedule is very tight. If we land the contract, we'll need to schedule the shooting immediately. Remember this, in case they want to know the shooting schedule. We might earn bonus points if we can give them a clear idea about the overseas filming location. A team member responds confidently, yes, sir. We're well prepared on that part and feel very confident about it. Jihun smiles and says, I also believe it will go well. He turns to Jong O and encourages her, Ms. Lee, you'll be fine too. Just do as you did during the rehearsal. She lowers her gaze slightly, keeping a professional distance, and answers, yes, sir, I'll do my best. Someone concludes, let's go then. Someone continues, as you know, the CEO of Solely Telecom has a preference for touching messages. And he has a habit of pushing his chair back and staring intensely at the presenter if he's interested. If he's fully satisfied, he'll lay back on his chair. Pay attention to his response and time your presentation accordingly. Good luck, everyone. The exterior of a glass building comes into view, the sign reading Solely Telecom, marking the destination of their crucial presentation. An announcement calls out to Max Communication to go in. Jihun walks ahead with a calm, unreadable expression while Jong O follows closely behind, clutching her materials and looking tense. The conference room is full of executives and investors. A man in a blue suit smiles and says, Mr. Jong, I see you are personally joining us today as well. Jihun replies politely, yes, good afternoon. Thank you for having us. At the podium, a presenter announces, we will now start our presentation. Next, we will present our production proposal. Miran pats Jang O's hand as she gives a subtle, reassuring nod. She says softly, good luck, Ms. Lee. Jang O notices Miran's condition. Her hand is cold. She must be nervous, too. Her heels click as she steps forward. Well, it's only natural for her to be anxious, because everyone has been working so hard for this day. But that only means that we've got this presentation. She begins confidently, hello, I'm Jang O Lee, a copywriter from Max Communications. She gestures smoothly as she speaks, maintaining a composed and professional expression. The final slide displays, thank you, Max Communications. She concludes, thank you for listening. Then, please, if you have any questions. A hand presses a button and a voice begins. You mentioned collaborations with Serien Group's affiliates. Jihun rises and says firmly, let me answer that. One executive folds his hands and says, if that's the end of the questions, Ms. Lee? She responds, yes. The executive asks, do you think it would be appropriate for our brand to depict mother's love? What does a mother or mothers mean to you, Ms. Lee? Jang O reflects inwardly, cradling her child. What makes us mothers? Myself, as my own mother, and all the other mothers in the world are. She answers with quiet conviction. A mother is, or mothers are, the ones who give endlessly yet still feel the pain of not giving enough. I have absolute faith that Me and Talk will become an app that allows people to share their hearts. I hope it can also portray the love and sadness of mothers behind the words, I miss you. The executive listens intently and then excuses everyone. Thank you. You may leave. Footsteps echo. A voice says, good job, everyone. Let's head back. The door opens and a staff member calls out, excuse me, Max Communications, could you please re-enter the room? Jihun's lips curve into a subtle, confident smile. Two hands clasp in a firm handshake. The executive announces, the executives were in full agreement. We want to work with your company. Jihun replies immediately, thank you. We will do our best for the campaign. The executive adds, the schedule is very tight. You'll have to start preparing for the shooting immediately. Jihun responds, yes, we'll begin communicating with our staff. Jihun beams, wow. It's so nice that it's over, and even better that it ended successfully. Miran looks pale beside him. Jang O assists Miran and says, Ms. Song, you don't look so good. Are you feeling okay? She answers weakly, I think I'll have to visit the hospital. Jang O shouts, oh, Ms. Song. I'll take Ms. Song to the hospital. Jihun replies, okay, thank you, Ms. Lee. At the hospital's operating unit, a doctor explains, she has acute appendicitis and requires immediate surgery. In the hospital room, Miran lies on the bed as worried thoughts crowd in. Oh no, I have a meeting with a makeup company this afternoon. I also have a business trip scheduled this Friday. Jang O explains, Mr. Park will take care of it. You have to stay here for 4 days. We can ask Mr. An from production team 1. Miran asks, Ms. Lee, do you have a passport? Jang O blinks and answers, huh? I guess I do have it somewhere. Miran says calmly, good. Then you go in my place. Jang O jerks in shock and blurts out, to Australia? Me. Miran replies, you said you'd been there before. It'll be much easier for you. Jang O hesitates, but that was 7 years ago. Miran insists, you're the best person for this job. Go. You do know I began as a copywriter too, right? You're going to become a creative director too someday. And when you do, you'll have to do these things. Please. I know you'll do great. Jang O's mind fills with uncertainty. An unexpected business trip to Melbourne, Australia, of all places. Jihun, I'll be revisiting the place where we first met, as a memory of their younger selves appears. Back at the office, Mr. An announces, Ms. Lee will be joining us in place of Ms. Song, who's in the hospital. I believe she'll be a great help, as she worked the hardest on the presentation and has been to Australia before. Jihun pauses and asks, she's been in Australia? Mr. An replies, yes. She says she's familiar with our shooting location in Melbourne. Jihun raises a concern. No matter how good Ms. Lee is at her job, her rank is far below Ms. Song, which might offend our clients. Before the objection continues, Mr. An tries to explain, But Ms. Lee is the perfect. Jihun interjects. I'll go too. That will balance things out. Jihun sits composed, holding a folder labeled Approval Documents, and says, Please don't mind me. I'll be departing on my own on Sunday. A bright blue sky stretches over a brick apartment building as a dramatic tiny voice cries out, Mommy. Inside, Yenna clings to her mother, sobbing dramatically like the world is ending. Sob, sob. Her mother gently cups her face and consoles. Yenna, if you eat all your food and listen to your grandma, I'll be back home very soon, okay? Yenna sniffles and negotiates like a tiny business mogul. Okay, and don't forget my present. Her mom reassures her. Okay, I won't forget it. Grandma appears, with a calm, warm, and clear voice of reason. Don't worry about Yenna and focus on your work. And be careful about what you eat. Jang O wheels her suitcase and leaves. A plane slices through the sky with a triumphant whoosh, glittering in the sunlight. Jang O strides out of sliding airport doors, rolling her suitcase behind her. The sunlight hits just right. She smiles softly, eyes shining. The scenic city skyline by the water appears. Blue skies, sparkling river, golden trees. The city looks so picturesque. Another angle of the city. Tall buildings gleam under the sun, blending modern glass towers with classic architecture. Inside a car, Hae-yoon turns to her and asks, Ms. Lee, didn't you say you once lived in Melbourne? Jang O replies calmly, Yes, 7 years ago. Although it had only been for a few months. 7 years ago. But the memory clearly lingers longer than that short stay. Hae-yoon continues gently. Still, since the buildings here haven't changed much, it must bring back a lot of memories for you. Jang O looks out the window, eyes distant. The past is definitely knocking. At the filming location appears, camera cranes, equipment, and a charming street backdrop. On Saturday, they have to check all the filming locations beforehand. And the actual filming will be conducted for 3 days from Sunday to Tuesday. The stage is set. Mr. On scratches his head and says, What will we have for lunch? We should decide on a menu. Especially since Mr. Jong will be joining us soon. Jang O's eye twitches. Ugh, why would anyone cover their own accommodation and plane ticket for a business trip? Even if he says he did it to make the client happy. Earlier, Mr. On chirps to Jang O, he'll be joining the filming team. The Solid Telecom executives were so pleased. Meanwhile, Jang O internally melts into a puddle of discomfort. Ugh. But we, especially me, find this very uncomfortable. Mr. On continues, oblivious to her internal meltdown. The client mentioned wanting to try local food. Do you have any ideas? Jang O quickly pulls herself together, clutching her phone. Just a moment. Her face lights up. Ooh, this restaurant is still here. A charming restaurant exterior appears. Jang O explains warmly. It's a place that I really used to love. The location, food quality, and menu variety are all great. Most of all, it opens on Sundays. A glorious, golden meat pie appears on a plate, glowing like it descended from heaven. Warm and steamy, practically perfume the air. Jang O blushes, eyes sparkling just thinking about it. Their meat pies are to die for. Suddenly the mood shifts to ominous blue. She freezes mid-thought. Wait. Her smile turns stiff. I forgot. I took Jihun to that restaurant. Plus, the past has entered the chat. Flashback, she walks toward the same restaurant with a tall man, Jihun. Inside the memory, they sit together at a table with dessert. They took our picture to put on their wall. Back to the present day. Mr. On smiles. Wow, this place looks great. Yeah, let's go there. Jang O panics and politely asks, Sir, is it okay if I step out and come back in a bit? I'll be back in 1 hour, about 40 minutes. He shrugs. Oh, did something come up? Sure. She adds quickly. Yes, I'll also make the reservation on my way back. Inside the restaurant now, she sits nervously wearing a cap, trying to look like a completely different human. The wall behind her is covered in photos, hundreds of smiling faces. A waitress stands nearby. She nervously flips through something, sweat beads visible. Her eyes darted sideways, glancing at the wall photos. Her gaze locks onto a specific photo on the wall, hers and Jihun's. Her heart practically leaps out of her chest as she blurts internally, Oh, it's still there. Jang O stares at the photo wall in horror, hands flying to her mouth. Her thoughts spiral. Who knows what might have happened if someone had seen this? Next to her, hundreds of smiling Polaroids judge her silently. She carefully pulls the incriminating photo from the wall. Determination flashes in her eyes. I'll replace it with something else. Yes, because that's totally how crime scenes work. The door closes behind her with a cheerful jingle. Meanwhile, outside under a leafy tree, she slumps dramatically. The guilt. Plus, I forgot about the reservation. I better call them. She looks down at the photo in her hands. Her expression softens, nostalgia flooding back despite herself. 26-year-old Jihun and 23-year-old Jang O. They sit side by side, smiling brightly over slices of pie. Younger. Happier. I wonder what brought us so much joy to smile that broadly. Cut to an airport runway under a clear blue sky. A plane lands at the gate. A yellow taxi labeled stops outside the airport. Jihun steps out, composed and unreadable. He stands in front of a building entrance, sunlight catching his sharp features. He looks calm, but there's a quiet intensity in his gaze. The weather is beautiful, sunny, clear blue skies. 7 years ago, after I finished serving in the military, I came on a trip to Australia. I had stayed here for 3 weeks, yet I have no memory of this place. So I couldn't have missed anything about it. He checks his watch. Is it noon already? He walks down stone steps while talking on the phone. I'm almost there, but I'm not sure where the filming location is exactly. On the phone, a voice reports, Ms. Lee is on her way, sir. Close-up of Jihun's face as he listens quietly, eyes sharpening just slightly. Under a bright seaside sky, Jong O walks alone along the sand. The ocean sparkles, but her expression is anything but calm. Jong O is coming toward me. Her eyes widen just a fraction. Each footfall feels heavier than the last. She stops in front of him, bows, head lowered politely. Hello, Mr. Jong. Jihun looks at her steadily and says, the location is this way. Please follow me. His face is unreadable, calm as she walks past him. From behind, he watches her walk ahead. He murmurs, Jong O Lee. Just like the meaning of her name, Noon, she comes close to me every time as though it were nothing, but then goes away just as swiftly. Why do you always? Mr. On interrupts his thoughts. Sir, you've arrived. Jihun replies, yes, hello. Have you eaten? Mr. On suggests, not yet. We were thinking of going to a local restaurant. What do you say, sir? Jong O, internally screaming, repeats in a thought, say no. Say no. Say no. Say you want something else. Anything besides local food. Her side glance is practically a psychic plea. Jihun answers calmly. Anything is fine. Mr. On brightens. Okay. Then shall we? Meanwhile, Jong O visibly droops like a wilted houseplant denied water. Mr. On asks, Ms. Lee, the restaurant is that way, right? She responds weakly. Yes. Her soul exits her body briefly. As the men walk ahead toward the restaurant entrance, Jong O lags behind, visibly sweating. Her thoughts spiral. I can't go in there again. What if they found out I stole their picture? Jong O clutches her stomach dramatically and announces, my stomach suddenly hurts. I think I need to use the ladies' room. I made the reservation in your name, sir, so don't mind me and enjoy your lunch. Excuse me. She bows slightly and retreats. Oscar-worthy performance for best fake stomachache. As they step up to the entrance, a colleague murmurs, gosh, I feel bad for Ms. Lee. She's the one who recommended the restaurant. Another asks, Ms. Lee recommended this restaurant. The colleague explains, yes, she said she used to come here when she was in Australia on a working holiday. Jihun listens quietly as someone says, let's go in. Inside, the owner beams, welcome, then pauses, Spoken in English, he breaks into a radiant grin. Long time no see. Still grinning, the owner says, nice to see you again. Jihun and his colleague stand at the counter. Jihun's face politely blank, but internally buffering. Jihun asks evenly, do you know me? The owner laughs. Of course. You came to our restaurant several years ago. Don't you remember? Jihun replies calmly, I'm sorry. I don't. The owner insists cheerfully. Oh, but I even know your name, Mr. Jong. I have the best memory in town. I took your picture and put it on our wall. The customers went wild over it. How's your girlfriend? Jihun stiffens slightly. Girlfriend? The word lands like a pebble dropped into very still water. The owner clarifies, the lady you took the picture with. Wasn't she your girlfriend? You two look very close. Sorry, Jihun murmurs. No, that's okay. Then, almost to himself, I took a picture with someone. The owner adds, wait, I'll look for it. The owner scans the photo wall. Huh. I know it was here the last time I checked. The owner turns apologetic. I'm sorry. I was so sure it was here. Jihun stands with one hand in his pocket, expression composed, but curiosity flickers in his eyes. Suddenly the owner perks up. Oh, here it is. Jihun's eyes shift slightly, attention locked. The owner proudly holds up the Polaroid and says, see? This is you. He beams like he's just solved a decades-old mystery. Close-up of the photo, a smiling young woman with glasses in the foreground, and behind her, Jihun sits at a table with pie beside a long-haired woman. The owner explains, the man in the photo, then adds, and the one next to you is the woman you came with. Don't you remember? A customer appears in front of the camera, while Jihun and his girlfriend's photo happens to be caught in the background. Jihun studies the picture intensely. Mr. On leans in. Wow. It does seem to be you, sir. That's interesting. Jihun thinks. Her face is out of focus. A white t-shirt and long straight hair. Jihun calmly asks, would you mind if I took a photo of this? The owner waves it off warmly. Not at all. Jihun's mind echoes. I had a girlfriend? I can't believe it. Or maybe I just don't want to believe it. Because now I'm interested in someone else. The name settles heavily in his thoughts. Jang O. If you have a child, and I had a girlfriend, does that make us somewhat equal? Her eyes look distant, trying to measure fairness in a love that never balanced. Maybe now I don't have any reason to resent you. Back at the filming site, Mr. On approaches Jong O. Ms. Lee, are you feeling better? That restaurant had the best meat pies. She replies lightly. Oh, really? He smiles. Yeah, I wish you'd been there too, Ms. Lee. They also had a photo of Mr. Jong from 7 years ago. The original photo was gone, but the owner still remembered Mr. Jong. Jong O visibly flinches. Her heartbeat spikes like an alarm. She stares at him, stunned. He did? From 7 years ago? Mr. On nods casually. Yeah, he even remembered his name. A colleague chats animatedly with Jihun. Mr. Jong's looks must be internationally recognized. The owner said everyone loved his photo, but Mr. Jong can't remember any of it. I guess because of his amnesia. Jong O freezes slightly. Inside, relief crashes over her. Oh, thank God I took that photo and didn't join them in that restaurant. Imagine what could have happened if I had gone. On the beach set, staff members move lighting equipment and cases across the sand, preparing for filming. Jong O stands alone under a vast blue sky, wind lifting her hair softly. She looks calm on the outside, but inside, the past, the photo, the amnesia, all swirl like a storm she refuses to name. 7 years ago, in Melbourne, I came to Australia hoping to earn money and study English. But because of the language barrier, I couldn't handle work that involved interacting with people. My pay was tight, and with the rent going up, I had to starve while waiting for the next paycheck. In a small room, a coworker hands her cash. $20 is all I can lend you. Jong O accepts it gratefully. Thank you so much. I'll pay you back as soon as I get my next paycheck. She jogs down a sunny street, determination in her stride as her inner resolve builds. In case this happens again, I can't waste it. I will buy cheap groceries, and suddenly she collides into a tall man in a cap. She looks back quickly, flustered. Sorry, then continues running to her destination. She stops near a storefront, panting. Huff. I'm so out of breath. She digs into her pocket while thinking. Rice and potatoes. Should I buy some instant ramen too? I really want some tteokbokki, but I shouldn't. Her eyes widened. Panic creeps in as she freezes mid-search. She pulls her empty pocket lining out in disbelief. Where did, then the crushing realization, my money go? She stands outside the shop, hands shoved into her pockets, panic rising. Did I drop it when I bumped into that man earlier? She thinks while search practically echoes around her. The horror intensifies. This can't be happening. That was everything I had. She lets out a defeated sigh. She starts to trudge away, thinking, why doesn't anything ever go as planned? She sniffles, Mom. I want to go back to Korea. A hand reaches toward her shoulder. Excuse me, it says gently. She turns, eyes wide and glossy. The man asks, You're Korean, right? Her brain short-circuits. He explains calmly. I bumped into you earlier, and I was worried if I hurt you. Meanwhile, she's internally combusting. Her face lights up like fireworks. A Korean, who speaks Korean? Sparkles explode around her, as if she's discovered treasure instead of just basic communication. She sobs openly now, overwhelmed. He stands there awkwardly, hands slightly out like, do I pat her back? Do I bow? What is the protocol? That's how I first met Jihun Jong 7 years ago. He was a bit awkward back then. Even though he was shy, he was kind, thoughtful, and funny. A memory pops up. She thinks, sometimes I feel like I can see his old face in Yenna's. The tiny crossed-arm kids mirror his serious little expression. Genetics? Fate? Who knows? Her phone buzzes. She pulls it out. Huh? Who could it be? On screen, hello? Mommy. She beams. Princess Yenna. Walking by the water, she asks, what do you want? Yenna answers enthusiastically, a kangaroo. She chuckles. I can't get you a real kangaroo. Yenna clarifies, I mean, a kangaroo stuffy. Mommy, I like kangaroos. She asks, why do you like kangaroos? Yenna gives herself a loving hug and replies, because the mommy kangaroos have big pouches where they carry around their babies. I want to be a baby kangaroo and live in your pouch. Her heart melts into a puddle of sparkly mush. Jang O blushes, overwhelmed with love hearts practically floating out of her soul. Be good and listen to your grandma, and have fun at preschool, okay? I'll bring home a stuffed kangaroo this Tuesday. Yenna replies, okay, I can't wait to see you. She slips her phone away and rustles through her bag. Oh right, the photograph. She glances down at the photo. The picture shows her and Jihun smiling brightly over slices of pie, hands intertwined. I guess I won't ever see him smile like that again. Ouch. She stares at the photo against the bright sky, pensive. Since Jihun has changed, and so has our relationship. Maybe this memory doesn't belong to us anymore, but to that restaurant. She decides, I should put it back. The photo slides into her pocket like it knows it's been demoted to archived feelings. She walks forward. It's chilly. It's still summer in Korea. While I was stuck in an endless winter, I wonder if you were lost somewhere in the midst of summer. She looks up across the crosswalk, and there he is. Jihun walks toward her in a sharp suit, hands in pockets, like fate clocked in for work. Her face trembles. Why? Why do you always show up at times like this? He approaches, composed, unreadable. She lowers her gaze, purse, and steps forward. They pass close, too close, yet still feels so distant. His lips pursed. He's about to say something, or swallow it. His hand reaches out toward her wrist. He grabs her hand firmly. She spins around in shock, hair flying, eyes wide. His jaw tightens, eyes sharp but wounded. He asks, how long are you going to keep avoiding me? The accusation lands softly but stings like a slap. His voice hardens. What happened to the bold woman who said I was your man? She pulls her hand back, away from his grip. He presses, Ms. Lee, don't you owe me an apology? She fires back immediately. For what? He replies, you said you lived alone with your mother. She lowers her head, biting back frustration. Her heart accuses, you think I wanted to hide Yenna from you? His frustration spills out one after another. Aren't you at least going to try to explain yourself? Why won't you even look at me? Is it because you feel too guilty to face me? The falling leaves and blurred scenery. Without saying a single word, her expression accuses, why? Do I have to listen to you say that here, of all places? When this is the place where we first met, you fool, tears pool in her golden eyes, cheeks flushed pink with emotion. She looks at him directly. He exhales sharply. Why are you crying when I'm the one that's been played? She snaps back. I can cry as much as I want. He frowns down at her. Then what are you crying about? Because you're sorry you lied to me. She explodes, finally looking up at him with tear-streaked fury. No, because you're acting just like my cold-hearted ex. His face, eyes sharp, jaw tight, voice low but cutting. You have no idea how cruel you're being, do you? You seriously want to bring up that jerk? If this is what you were going to do, why did you approach me? Why did you pretend to be my friend and let me kiss you? Do you seriously want to act like none of that ever happened? You think by avoiding me and saying the cruelest things, you can erase all of it? Well, sorry to disappoint you, but that's not how this ends. Now it's your call. My answer is this. He slides a black hotel room card into her palm and adds, this is the reason I came here in the first place. And if you're going to come to me, you'd better not think you can walk away from me again. Because once you're mine. He leans down, faces inches apart, holding both her hands, card trapped between their fingers. Her eyes are wide, tears clinging to her lashes. Back in the office, Unbi stands at a cubicle, hands on the desk, voice syrupy sweet. Ms. Song, are you feeling better? I've been so worried. Miran replies calmly. Thank you. I'm all better now. Unbi continues, sounding concerned but aiming precisely. Since you're busy recovering from surgery, I guess the credit for all your hard work will go to Ms. Lee. Miran immediately corrects her. No, Ms. Lee even did the presentation. She deserves the credit. Unbi fakes smiling brightly. Still, this isn't just a domestic shoot, it's overseas. The advertisers will be there too. You must be worried since her position isn't high enough. She looks stunned when Miran says, that's why Mr. Jong joined them yesterday. Go Unju adds, didn't you hear about Mr. Jong's business trip, Miss Chai? Oh, I guess you didn't. Unbi wonders. Jihun left for a business trip? To be with Jang O. Internal alarm bells. She forces composure, turning away, but veins clearly pop on her face. I'm glad that he did. The advertisers must be so relieved. I'll get going now. I have some documents to print. Miran whispers, Miss Go, don't be too harsh. It hasn't been that long since they broke up. Unju responds flatly, Ms. Song. I don't bend once I decide. Sparkles glint around her. By the exit sign in the hallway, Unbi is on the phone confronting her brother with blazing eyes. Yunyap, are you even trying to split Jong O and Jihun apart? Jihun followed Jong O on her business trip. She's a single mom, and she's trying to seduce my Jihun. Yunyap stands with his phone to his ear, eyebrows twitching as chaos blasts through the speaker. He winces slightly as he presses his fingers to his temple, eyes squeezed shut in second-hand exhaustion. Sigh, Unbi, don't overstep, all right? You just keep quiet and stay low. Then slams his phone down on the desk. His thought explodes in frustration. As if I don't have enough things to worry about. His veins practically pop with stress as the phone suffers the consequences. On his laptop screen, a file labeled Jong O _investigation report.docs gets selected. A soft, glowing photo fills the frame. Jong O Lee, 29 years old, copywriter. She smiles warmly beside her laughing daughter. A single mom with a 6-year-old daughter. The image radiates sunshine and innocence. His eyes narrow as he processes the information. A 6-year-old, he clicks his tongue. Jihun lost his memories 7 years ago. So if the kid is 6 years old, the timeline starts flashing red in his brain. The speculation darkens the mood. Maybe Jong O Lee got pregnant with her before that. Jihun doesn't know about this. That's for sure. But it's only a matter of time before he finds out about her. First, I'll have to find out whether Mrs. Jang knows about that child. Back in Melbourne, someone encourages, Day 2 of shooting, let's go. Staff bustle around equipment as Jihun approaches from behind, suit crisp, aura unreadable. Jihun in the sunlight, city buildings behind him. He looks composed, professional, but distant. His gaze sharps as he stares at Jong O, giving instructions to workers. Last night, Jong O did not come to me. Feeling hollow, I returned to the restaurant from earlier that day and was on my way back after finding 0 clues. And that's when I ran into her. Jong O Lee, who always runs away, always lies, and likes to get under my skin. The woman who always lived in the past ended up awakening my present. She made me realize how pathetic I am, how much I'm missing right now. That now, you're more important to me than the memories I've lost. So, he pleads silently, look at me. Don't push me away. Jong O Lee, while Jong O continues working without noticing him. Sunlight glinting in her hair. Back in Korea, at Go Academy. Yenna and Dobin are playing a Go game. Dobin asks cheerfully, Yenna, want to come over to my house tonight? My mom said she'd bake bread for us. Yenna answers simply, firmly. No, Dobin blinks, confused. Why not? Yenna with a teary face, cheeks flushed pink, says sadly, my mommy still hasn't come home from her business trip. She's not even answering her phone. She abandoned me, mommy. Jong O stands outside under soft sunlight as her phone vibrates loudly. She checks the screen, brows knitting slightly. She lifts the phone to her ear. Hello. A tiny, panicked voice bursts through. Mommy. Jong O's eyes widen, startled. Her heart practically jumps out of her chest. Then, urgently, Princess Yenna. Yenna's teary little face, cheeks flushed and eyes puffy, says, "Mommy, why didn't you call? I was so worried." Jong O replies gently, guilt creeping in, "Oh, sorry. I called too late and you had already left for preschool." Yenna fires back with pure child logic. "Then why didn't you call my preschool?" Jong O hurries down the sidewalk, phone pressed tight to her ear. She apologizes quickly. Sorry, I should have. Were you very worried? Don't cry, princess. Be a good girl and wait for me. I'll be home in no time with your present, okay?" A small, fragile reply comes back. "Okay." The call ends with a quiet, painful click. She slips her phone into her purse, and something else slides out. In the bag, a black card was given to her by Jihun. Her thoughts weigh heavy. "I'd better reach you soon, because our child is growing every day. But I can't tell you just yet." Remembering the note left in her baby's backpack after the kidnap, she has your looks and her father's personality. Seryun, the reason for her silence. Not until I figure out who's threatening our Yenna. Jong O stands deep in thought, hand at her lips. Her mind spirals. If only I could find out more about Jihun's mother. If I could at least take a look at his phone. Then a voice interrupts. "Miss Lee." "It was Mr. On." "Yes, sir." He reports cheerfully. "Thanks to you, the shoot was a success. It looks like we won't have to work overnight." She exhales in relief. "That's a relief." He continues, practical and upbeat. "We'll probably wrap up by 10 tonight. You should get some rest too." Jong O blinks, caught off guard. Oh, her mind is clearly somewhere else. Up ahead, Jihun walks alongside another man. Jong O answers politely. "Yes, thank you, sir." Professional on the outside. Emotional hurricane on the inside. That leaves 6 hours before I board my plane back to reality. What should I do? 6 hours. One hotel card. 1,000 unresolved feelings. A hairdryer hums loudly. Whir. Jong O dries her hair, one hand brushing it back as she stares off, clearly not just thinking about conditioner. This is pre-battle preparation. Fabric rustles softly. She buttons her blouse with careful fingers. Between looking after my child and getting through each day, I let myself go. But did Jihun think I looked pretty nonetheless? Her heels strike the polished floor, click-clack. The thought continues. That makes me even more nervous. She stands in front of a wooden hotel door, heart pounding. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. Something will change once I open this door. Her finger hovers near the doorbell. Hesitate. She debates internally. Should I push the doorbell? He gave me a key card, but he could be having a meeting with the advertiser or something. She resolves herself. I'll knock, and if he doesn't answer, I'll quietly go back and return the key card. Her knuckles tap on the door. Knock, knock. The lock turns. Click. Jihun stands there in a white shirt, slightly rumpled, gaze intense and focused entirely on her. She looks up at him. He cups her face gently, leaning closer. He pulls her inside his hotel room and pins her against the wall and desperately kisses her. Her mind wonders, had I been waiting for this moment? Her arms wrap around him instinctively. The hotel key card lies forgotten on the floor. They kiss without letting go. There is absolutely no hesitation left. Just hands and hair, fingers gripping fabric, and 6 hours rapidly losing their innocence. His hand cradles the back of her head, his lips moving slow and deliberate. She lets out a soft, breathy ugh. Her hand presses against his chest, and the tension spikes another 10 levels. He suddenly lifts her. She gasps, startled. Kaya. His hands secure her waist like she weighs nothing at all. She wraps her arms around his shoulders as he carries her effortlessly. He looks up at her with a teasing smirk and asks, "Are we just going to kiss?" He steps forward. Her heels tumble off onto the floor. She protests, flustered. "I can walk by myself." He plops her on the bed and immediately starts kissing her, not giving her a chance to protect. He trails kisses along her neck. Her cheeks flush deep pink, lips parted, breath shaky. She trembles, whispering urgently, "Ugh, wait." But he continues, lips brushing and sucking her skin. His hand slides down her chest, ready to get to work. She grabs his wrist and blurts, "I'll do it." Bold declaration. Nervousness and anticipation collide head-on. He pulls his shirt off. And there it is, sculpted abs, broad shoulders, and a long scar cutting down his torso. She pauses. Her fingers clutch her green blouse as she stares at the scar, her expression shifting from flustered to concerned. Softly, she asks, "Are you all right?" He responds evenly, "What do you mean?" She answers gently, "You were in an accident." Her fingers hover near the scar as she asks, "Your scar looks deep. Does it hurt?" He replies calmly, almost dismissively, "If it still did, there'd be something wrong with it." They sit on the bed, his arm around her waist. He looks at her steadily and asks, "Would you like for them to return?" The air shifts from heat to something heavier. She replies, "Of course, it's 3 years' worth of your memories." He says it lightly, but the weight of lost time lingers between them. She rests her hand against his abdomen near the scar and asks softly, "How did you live for 7 years?" Then her voice lowers with empathy. "Losing your memories must feel like losing yourself." Her fingers trace absent-minded circles, as if trying to understand him through touch. He looks down, eyes distant, and answers dryly, "Like I said before, in a very boring way. Why do you keep touching my scar? There's plenty of other places to touch." She jolts, her shoulders tense, fingers hovering midair, caught between flustered and flattered. A slow smirk curves on his lips. "I told her to touch me elsewhere, and she takes her hand away." He pushes her gently back onto the bed and leans over her, their bodies aligning. Her hands clutch his shoulders as their breathing grows heavier. As he lowers himself to her, his thoughts express his longing for her. You have no idea what it feels like to desperately drive your hands beneath someone's clothes because you're unable to read their thoughts. I want all of you. It's not just desire. It's frustration, longing, the need for certainty. Her flushed face, eyes half-lidded, breath trembling. Late at night, Sung-Yu sits alone at his kitchen table, laptop glowing in the dark apartment. The room is silent except for the faint hum of electricity and his steady breathing. The screen light reflects in his glasses as he scrolls through a report. He swallows hard gulp. A file photo of her fills the screen. The caption reads, "Jang O Lee, 29 years old." Below it, nothing noteworthy. The report continues, other than the fact that both her and her mother are single moms. She has a quiet, repetitive life between her home, her mother's restaurant, and work. Images flash of storefronts and offices, routine, ordinary, almost painfully normal. More lines scroll past. She recently visited the hospital because of her boss's surgery. Then his internal thought surfaces. She seems like an ordinary, hard-working woman. I wonder why Jihun wanted me to look into her. He flinches as something in the report catches him off guard. A bright photo of Jong O and Yenna fills the screen, both smiling, eyes closed, cheeks pressed together in pure happiness. Innocent, warm. Sung-Yu covers his mouth, eyes wide behind his glasses as a chilling thought appears. My son Dobin's first love, Yenna, is Miss Lee's daughter? His brain short-circuits. Coincidence? Fate? Or something messier? Is this really a coincidence? Miss Lee isn't using Yenna to deliberately get close to Jihun, is she? Then paranoia doubles down. Maybe my wife is also being used. The investigation just became personal. He sits alone in the dim apartment and exhales. A heavy thought follows. What should I do about this? The quiet night feels suffocating. Back in Melbourne, dusk melts into the interior of a bedroom. Morning light barely filters through as Jong O wakes wrapped in Jihun's bare arms. She looks up at him, their faces inches apart beneath the sheets. Reality feels fragile. Close-up of her flushed face, heart pounding. She thinks, I almost forgot. For a moment I thought this was a dream. Her gaze drifts over his broad shoulder. Her internal confession lands. I can't believe I'm waking up in a man's arms instead of next to Yenna. She quietly gets out of bed and puts on her clothes. She thinks, he looks like an angel when he's sleeping. Why is he so mean and sexy when he's awake? She sits up on the edge of the bed and steals a glance back. The thought lingers. Maybe this is all just a dream, and everything will disappear when I wake up. I hope I messed with your head as much as you did to me last night. His face was soft and unguarded. Her silent plea floats. Jihun, please remember me. She sits on the edge of the bed, arms wrapped around herself, stealing a cautious glance back at his bare form sprawled under the sheets. Determination settles over her expression. She thinks, now it's time for me to do what I have to. I just need to find out how close he is to his mother. whether he'd be willing to trust me more than her. She turns toward him, hand hovering uncertainly as she wonders. He is asleep, right? The tiny wave of her hand to see if he's awake. I'll just check his phone for a second. Her hand inches forward to reach for his phone. Suddenly, a sleepy voice cuts through. You're awake? He props himself up, drowsy, eyes half-lidded. She jolts upright like she's been electrocuted. Panicked, she blurts, Yes. I've got a lot of things to get done. He sits up and says smoothly, let's go together. He grabs her wrist before she can escape. She stammers, no, I also have to shower and get changed. I'm going back to my room. He leans in close behind her and murmurs, shower here. Close-up of his torso brushing against her. He presses a soft kiss to her hair, and her thought betrays her. I forgot this was what he was like. Her resolve wavers. She thinks, but no. As his arm slides around her again, she struggles to hold on to her plan and her sanity, while her heart absolutely refuses to cooperate. She shifts awkwardly, cheeks burning, and admits, I'm uncomfortable. Her posture stiffs. He leans closer and asks gently, does it hurt a lot? She mumbles, a bit. Her inner voice adds, I'm not entirely lying. Suddenly she's tucked snugly into the blanket. He doesn't tease. He rises from bed, phone in hand. He smiles over his shoulder and says, then, stay in bed a bit longer. We still have time. I'll be out of the shower in a sec. The phone rests on the table. Her eyes lock on it. Her heart kicks. Her thought screams, now's the time. She moves quickly. The phone is in her hands before her conscience can object. She taps the messages. Tap. Contact name. Mother. A preview pops up. Have a nice trip, my love. Her pulse spikes. More texts appear. Is there anything you want to eat, darling? I'll tell the cook to make it next time you come home. His reply. Anything's fine. I'll stop by when I get the chance. Another message. I love you, darling. You know how I feel, right? His response. Yes, I love you too. The words echo louder than they should. Her face falls into shadow as she stares at the screen. The light of the phone reflects in her eyes, but her expression is unreadable. She drops the phone back onto the table. A soft, dreamy overlay shows him holding her from behind, wrapped in warmth. Her heart aches. Those words he wrote so casually to his mother. The embrace looks loving, but it feels distant. The image fractures into something darker, distorted like cracked glass. Were words he never said to me before. The realization slices deeper than she expects. The bedroom door opens with a quiet creak. His voice carries in gently. Miss Lee, stay here if you're still not feeling well. He steps inside. Now dressed in a robe, tying the belt, composed and unreadable. He stops near the bedside table, eyes lowered. The phone is resting there. It seemed like she was reaching for my phone earlier, too. He grabs his phone and looks at his phone history of apps recently used. Maybe I shouldn't have stopped her. Jang O Lee. He looks down at his phone, face half-shadowed, a bead of water still sliding down his neck. The final thought hangs heavy in the air. What were you trying to look at? Unbi slams her empty glass on the bar and demands, pour me another. The bartender hesitates, but before he can move, a hand suddenly grabs the glass mid-pour. At the bar, the stranger guy tells her gently, you seem drunk. You should stop drinking. She snaps back instantly, flushed and furious. Who do you think you are? But he doesn't flinch. He only answers softly, I'm just worried. It's not healthy to drink this much. A tear slips down her cheek, and his world blurs in warm, hazy light. She wonders in aching silence. Has there ever been anyone who cared for me like this? The question lingers like a bruise. Bright sky. Peaceful morning. At the kitchen table, Sungyu lowers his glass and says flatly, honey, let's stop sending Do-bin to the Go Academy. He's not even learning that much anyway. The words land like a quiet verdict. His wife counters, but he is learning a little. He presses on, practical and firm. You're exhausted enough as it is, and now you have to take care of Yenna too. She replies, that's okay. Do-bin loves having Yenna around. Besides, we already paid for the classes, so let's just see how it goes this month. Little Do-bin runs in, sparkling with pride. Mom, I did great on the potty, and I even washed my hands, he announces triumphantly. But his father crushes that joy. Do-bin, you're not going to the academy from now on. Instead, We'll let you take soccer classes like you wanted. Dobin blinks. Then what about Yenna? His father answers evenly. Yenna has her own life. The boy's eyes tremble. I can't see Yenna anymore. The question cracks in the middle. Dobin. His father sighs, holding his shoulders as the child sobs and sobs. Taking you and Yenna to the academy is getting too much for your mother. You're going to be a big brother soon, so you need to be more mature. Dobin looks up and asks bluntly, Dad, can you stop seeing Mom? His father frowns. Why would I stop seeing your mom? And Dobin explodes, voice shaking with desperate logic. Then why are you letting me stop seeing the love of my life, when you can't do it yourself? Let me go classes. I'm going to keep going, he screams, flailing dramatically, like a tiny warrior throwing a full-body tantrum against destiny itself. Ding dong. The mansion door creaks open. Oh, Yenna. What a nice surprise. He bows politely. Hello, Mrs. Jang. It's been a long time. I hope you've been well. She explains Jihun's away on business, but he smiles calmly. That's okay. I see him often anyway. After a breath, he asks carefully, Do you mind if we talk about that real estate issue from before? Tea is poured. Then she leans in casually, blade hidden in silk. By the way, Jihun told me out of the blue that he and Unbi broke up. Is that true? Yenna smiles and lies without blinking. Jihun said that? I'm not sure. Those two seem to break up and get back together all the time. Oh, really? I didn't know. Yenna sits poised on the sofa and drops his bait smoothly. I heard Unbi continued to call you even if they broke up. Mrs. Jang gasps theatrically, clasping her teacup. Oh my goodness, what an angel. I can't imagine why Jihun would break up with such a lovely girl. The flattery drips like honey, but the room feels like a chessboard. He lowers his gaze, voice steady. Since we're on the topic, there is something I want to ask you, Mrs. Jang. His eyes sharpen. Did Jihun have a girlfriend 7 years ago? The question lands softly, dead center. Her fingers twitch over porcelain. Oh, a girlfriend? Of course not. You know how Jihun is, she smiles coolly. Well, I would hardly call her his ex-girlfriend. There was just someone who chased Jihun around, and I chased her off. They've lost contact with each other 7 years ago. Jihun is spotless. Yenna's lips curl ever so slightly. Inwardly, he notes, seems like she doesn't know a thing. The mask stays on, but the satisfaction flickers in his eyes. She tilts her head. Is that why he and Unbi are broken up? Then waves it off. No, I'm sure it was only a passing relationship. I get the situation Jihun used to be. Well, you know. Yenna answers carefully. And I'm sure you want to be on his side, Mrs. Jang, his tone darkens. But the Jihun I knew was a little different from what you think. I'm sure you heard about the rumors from 4 years ago. About the women Jihun did or was rumored to have been involved with. I was right. Jihun and his mother seem close, but they actually know nothing about each other. The scene shifts, bright sky, airport glass gleaming. Mr. On calls warmly. Good work, Ms. Lee. Get some rest when you get home. She walks out with her suitcase, smiling politely. Thank you. You too, sir. The sunlight halos her, but her thoughts murmur uneasily. The bus stop is supposed to be around here. A sleek black car waits. Huh. The window lowers. Mr. Jong? What are you doing here? He answers simply, eyes steady. You said you wanted to see me. She stiffens. I meant back in Seoul. This is in Chan. He reaches for her suitcase handle anyway. She tries to stop him. Oh, you don't have to, I'll. The wheels roll decisively. Just get in the car before anyone sees us. They sit in tense silence inside the car. Seat belts clicked like unspoken promises. She stares forward, guarded. He steals a sideways glance at her. Expression unreadable, calculating, curious, and just a little too invested. Inside the moving car, he cuts straight to it. Tell me everything you told Ki-hoon's song. She blinks, caught off guard. Huh. His hand tightens on the steering wheel as he adds coolly. I don't want him to know more about you than I do. Possessive, unapologetic. She turns toward the window, silent. He exhales a low, then presses, and bringing up some other guy from your past. Just to get a rise out of me isn't fair. Her head snaps back and pouts. What? The mood flips, almost comically bright. He teases, that's why you don't have a boyfriend. She fires back. Then what about you? He replies without missing a beat. I'm a man who's that understanding. Silence drapes over them again. I can't talk about him. I still want to. He sighs. I'll mess with you every time you do. She replies, but still, what do you think your family would say if they found out about me? For instance, your mother or your father? The question hums heavier than the engine. He answers, I'll be telling my mother about you. She asks, why? He clarify, because I don't want Unbi to beat me to it. It's better that she hears from me. Determined. Protective. He smiles, eyes gleaming. I won't let anyone touch you. So don't worry. She shoots back. How can I believe that? At a red light beneath a wide blue sky, he answers smoothly. If you can't, then you'll just have to wait and see. She hesitates. Could you not tell your mother about me? He counters instantly. I told you, I don't want her to hear about us from Unbi. Then he reaches over and cups her cheek gently as she reasons with him. You could tell Unbi to keep quiet. You can do that, can't you? Answer me. Can't you? Her breath catches. Wide-eyed, flustered. I can. Screech. Tires scream against asphalt as everything jolts sideways as she yells. Stop. Eek. Why can't you leave me alone for 1 second? He reasons. You do whatever you want, and I can't. She replies, nope. Only I get to do what I want, not you. You keep your eyes on the road. Hard cut to chaos at Sungyu's home. Do-bin flails dramatically on the floor. Go class. Let me go. His mother sighs. Ugh, he's been like that the whole day. His mother snaps. Do-bin park. That's enough. She turns to her husband, voice tight with frustration. Do we really have to make him stop going? Can't we just let him be happy? He fires back. I said I can handle it. What's with you? She presses, desperate. Just be honest. Is this about the tuition or what? He says, we need to talk. Step, step, step. They walk down the hallway like they're marching toward a verdict. She folds her arms, brows knit. What is it? What's going on? He exhales slowly. Yenna's mother's name is Jang O Lee, right? She's a copywriter at my office. Sigh. Jinseo blinks. Really? That's great. So what's the problem? The explanation explodes. Jihun likes Ms. Lee. Her brain short circuits. I thought he had a girlfriend named Jihun or something. He deadpants. No, that's fake. Ms. Lee is the one he really likes. Hearts and arrows swirl like a romantic conspiracy diagram. She squints. So, he continues, grim as a thundercloud. She's a single mom, and she hid it from Jihun. He rubs his temple, spiraling. No, he only knows that she has a child. He doesn't know about Yenna yet. His thoughts tumble faster. What if he falls for her? I can't be on board with him falling for a single mom. His wife's voice slices through his panic like a blade. Hey, Sungyu Park. He freezes. Her eyes are sharp and unblinking. He gulps nervously. She steps forward, voice trembling with fury. Honey, if Mr. Jong likes her, why is it a problem? Her eyes blaze. What gives you the right to judge? Yenna's mom is a fabulous woman. An amazing woman. I have a husband and both my parents. But still, the thought of having our third child scares me to death. Yenna's mom raised Yenna all on her own without a husband. Do you have any idea what it's like to go through 10 months of pregnancy and give birth, huh? He stands there, tiny and sweating in the storm of her righteousness. She points sharply. Tell Mr. Jong the truth, and you stay out of it. If you hurt Yenna or her mom, I won't forgive you. Not to mention my son. Her voice drops, but the threat lands heavier. Back in the car, Jong O beams. Yay, we're here. Jihun glances over. You look really happy. She laughs, soft and warm. Of course. I haven't seen my daughter in days. He watches her, conflicted. I can't stay mad when she's this happy. He parks. I'll get off here. It's better to walk the rest of the way. She reaches for the handle. Wait, let me grab your luggage. Okay. The suitcase hits the pavement between them like an awkward punctuation mark. She smiles brightly. Thanks for today. I'll see you in 2 days. She walks away, light on her feet. He stands there watching, thinking, guess she's just happy, and not even a little sad about saying goodbye. Beep beep. The door unlocks. Huh? It's Mommy. Princess Yenna. Mother and daughter collide in a hug. Mommy, I missed you. Mommy missed you too. Smooch, smooch. Both mother and daughter greet each other at the door, smooching to make up for the 4-day separation. Grandma Guxin greets. Welcome back. Did you eat? Jong O replies. I had a lot on the plane. Grandma Guxin states. You should have a proper meal. Come eat. Yenna asks happily. Mommy, what about my present? She grins mischievously. Got it right here, Tada! A giant kangaroo plush and a tiny matching one. Yay! Yenna bounces with pure joy. Yenna holds a drawing booklet to her mother. Mommy, I drew a picture. Wow, is that us? It's so pretty. Yenna corrects. No, it's a kangaroo. Jong O chuckles nervously. Oh, it's a kangaroo. Wow, what a pretty kangaroo. They all laugh, warmth wrapping around them. A phone screen glows. A text. Are you at the office? Jihun concludes. Sungyu must have finished his investigation. I hope he doesn't bring news about Jong O still seeing her ex or something. A darker thought creeps in. Although, I guess he could also be the father of her child. Not that it matters now. Knock knock. Sungyu enters the office. How was your trip? Jihun. Good. Thanks to you. So, did you look into her? Does she have another man? Sungyu replies. Yeah, she doesn't, but Jihun's eyes narrow. What about the kid's father? Did you find out about her ex? Sungyu replies. Sorry, I couldn't find anything about him either. Jihun replies with a faint happy smile. That's fine then. Thanks. He smiles faintly, but his eyes sharpen. If there's no trace of the ex, then either the man is extremely clean or he's been erased. Sungyu, feeling uneasy, reports, but there's something more important you should know. You know Dobin's friend, Yenna, right? Thump. His heart punches against his ribs before the words even land, and his eye flickers as Sungyu continues. Ms. Lee seems to be her mother. Sungyu panics immediately. I swear I didn't know. It was my wife who approached her first, not the other way around. She said she wanted Dobin to become friends with Yenna because she's so smart. At least I know for sure that Ms. Lee didn't use Yenna to try to get close to you. And my wife's certain about that. Not sure how she acts around you. But, Jihun murmurs. Yeah, that makes sense. He leans back, eyes distant. She kept reminding me of her. I thought it was just because the girl was pretty, but it was because she looked like her mom. Jong O Lee. He inhales slowly. Sungyu, can you help me out? Please. I need your help. The decision locks in behind his smile. In the kitchen, gentle clatter. You shouldn't be working on your day off. Go home and rest. Jong O replies. I'll just help out until it's time for Yenna's go class, okay? Sunset paints the street. Yenna. Hi, Dobin. I'll take you and Yenna to the academy in a taxi today. Okay. Come on, Yenna. A taxi idles near a law firm building, glowing in the evening light. Jong O's phone lights up, a call from Dobin's mom. She answers. Hello, Jinseo. Yes, we just arrived in front of the academy. Jinseo asks. Jong O, there's something I want to talk to you about. Remember that friend of Dobin's dad I told you about? Well, I'm not sure if Yenna mentioned it, but she's gotten pretty close to him lately. Jong O recalls. Oh yes. You mean the one she played Go with? Jinseo answers. Right. Well, he seems to have brought presents from his recent business trip. He said he brought them for both Dobin and Yenna. Jong O protests lightly. Oh, that's really not necessary. Jinseo replies. I couldn't say no since he bought them for Dobin and Yenna. I don't want to put you on the spot, but he said he'll be near the Go Academy. Do you want to meet him? You must be curious what he's like, since Yenna talked about him. I thought it would be nice for you to meet him. What should I tell him? Jong O's voice lowers. Dobin's dad's friend who's nice to Yenna? Well, I guess I could just say hello. Cut to Jong O's mom grinning mischievously. And no, it's not because my mom said he's handsome. Jong O nods. Okay, I'll just say hi here. The kids should be able to spot him. Jinseo replies. Okay, then I'll let him know. Yenna's tiny hand tugs her coat. Mommy, what is it? Jong O explains. You know the man who visited Dobin's house. Yenna, I know. I call him Uncle Go. Jong O replies. Yes, Uncle Go. He's coming to see us here. He said he's going to bring some gifts. Both kids freeze, eyes widening. For me? What about me? Their pupils practically turn into fireworks. Dobin pumps his fist as Jong O replies. For both Yenna and Dobin. He'll be here soon. Let's wait. The three of them stand beneath golden trees, evening light wrapping around them. A sleek car glides into view. That must be him. Jong O's breath stutters. Wait, that car. Thump. Her heart slams hard enough to echo. The driver steps out, backlit by sunset. Uncle. Mister. The children wave wildly. Jong O stands frozen behind them, recognition crashing over her. He smiles down at Dobin. How have you been, Dobin? Good. Yenna peeks shyly. Jong O watches, eyes trembling, as past, and present collide in front of her. Seeing Jihun kneeling in front of their daughter is emotional enough that tears clouded her vision. Someday. That's how I always had to set this scene up. I could picture it so clearly with my eyes closed. But every time I opened my eyes, it felt so far away. But now, that moment is right in front of me. Jang O presses her hands to her face, overwhelmed. Mr. Yenna chirps brightly. He kneels fully, gaze soft, voice steady. Hello, Yenna. And just like that, the dream steps into reality. Yenna beams and points proudly. Mister, that's my mom. She's a copywriter. Jang O freezes a few steps behind. He answers smoothly. I know, Yenna. Because I work in the same company as your mom. Yenna gasps. Huh? Mommy, does he work at your office too? Yes, she admits, heart quietly racing. Dobin leans in eagerly. Uncle, what about our gifts? Jihun smiles. Of course. Straight to business. Tada. A fluffy koala appears in his hands. Wow. A koala. Yenna, say thank you. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you, mister. The kids clutch their plushies like treasure, eyes shining brighter than the sunset. Yenna hugs the koala tight, giggling. Jihun watches her with a softness he doesn't bother hiding. Jang O studies his expression, careful, attentive, gentle. Something in her chest loosens. The moment I'd only dreamed of was happening before my eyes. Even though Jihun doesn't know that Yenna is his daughter yet, his gaze lingers on Yenna. Her small face presses into the plush. Jang O steps in gently. Thank you for thinking about Yenna too. But it's time for their go class now. She gathers both children close, steady but guarded. He straightens. Let's talk once you get back. Yenna pipes up brightly. Then can you look after my koalas for me, mister? All right. Let's go inside. Say goodbye to Mr. Jong. Yenna's hand fits snugly in her mother's. Inside Prime go. Oh, Ms. Lee, you're dropping the kids off today? Jang O replies. Yes, I hope you've been well. The instructor smiles politely, then clears his throat. I actually had something to speak to you about. Do you have a second? Oh, of course. Her mind spirals instantly. What could it be? Did something happen to Yenna? Did the other kids make fun of her because she only has one parent? The instructor reports, Ms. Lee, do you know that Yenna's very bright, don't you? She has an amazing ability in calculating moves. Startled. Oh, she only began learning 6 months ago. She must excel at it as much as she loves it. Trophies gleam in the background. The instructor adds thoughtfully, if you're okay with it, we'd like to prepare her for a competition. There are lots of Go competitions for children out there. Yenna's very competitive, so I think it'd be motivating for her too. What do you think? And just like that, pride replaces panic. She nods politely. Well, I'll have to check with Yenna first. The instructor smiles. Actually, I somewhat asked her already, and her eyes seem to sparkle at the thought of competing against kids her age. Jang O blinks, stunned. Oh, I see. Yenna was growing up much faster than I was aware of. Somewhere in her heart, a silent cheer echoes. Jihun, our daughter's a genius. Clack. Her heels tap down the stairs. Creak. The door opens. Jihun is leaning against the wall, arms crossed, waiting. You were taking too long. I came inside in case you ran away again. He reaches out, clasps her hand. We need to talk. Evening settles over the courtyard. They sit side by side on a wooden bench, each holding a can. She asks, aren't you going back to the office? I left early. I know it must be hard to believe, but I really didn't know. I only found out today when I asked Sungyu. She turns to him gently. No, it's okay. Same here. I really didn't know either. I was a little surprised, but it's kind of amazing how things connect like this. She asks, have you always played Go? He replies, I used to enjoy it when I was little. She states, I didn't know that about you, either. He glances over. Well, I never mentioned it before. She pouts, exactly. Why didn't you tell me? You should have. Inwardly she scoffs. You never told me about it when we were dating. He smiles, slow and warm, dangerously charming. Jinseo arrives and calls out, Ms. Lee. They both look up. Oh, hello. Jang O stands quickly. Jinseo greets, hello, Mr. Jong. We meet again. Jihun answers, hello. Thanks for helping me deliver my gifts. Jinseo smiles bright as sunshine. So, my husband works at the same office as you and Ms. Lee, right? What a coincidence. I'm on my way to pick up Do-bin. Would you like to come up too? She glances at the sky. Oh, look at the time. Yes, I better. Jinseo smiles gently. I think Do-bin and I will have to head out first tonight. Will you be taking Ms. Lee and Yenna, Mr. Jong? Of course, he answers smoothly, stepping in without hesitation. Jong O blinks beside him, caught off guard. Then see you again. Ms. Lee, thank you for taking Do-bin to his class today. It was nothing. Drive safely. Do-bin waves wildly from the car. See you tomorrow, Yenna. Bye, Yenna. See you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Vroom. The car pulls away, leaving the three of them under the streetlights. Jong O states, Sir, we'll just head home by ourselves. It's walking distance from here. Jihun won't take no for an answer. Let me drive you. My car is parked nearby. He reaches down. Let's go, Yenna. His hand closes warmly around her tiny one. Jong O watches, step, her heart following. Mister, are you mommy's boss? He replies, yes. She asks, are you also the one who gave my mommy those cookies? He glances down, a faint smile tugging at his lips. Yenna also knows about them. Jong O replies, yes, I brought those cookies home. Yenna tilts her head, studying him with unsettling curiosity. Mommy, is Mr. Jong also the one who made you work late? Jong O stiffens. Well, Yenna pushes for an answer. Is he the one who made you work late on my birthday? Mister, did you make my mom work late on May 27th? His expression flickers, just barely, but the question lands like ice. Yenna stops dead in her tracks, eyes blazing. That was my birthday. Why did you do that? She crosses her arms, tiny but terrifying, glaring up at him like a judge delivering a sentence. She suddenly dashes to her mom. Mommy, don't work there anymore. Jong O tries to reason. Yenna, I can't just quit my job. I have to earn money. Yenna clenches her fists. Then get a new job before my next birthday. Jihun starts, stepping forward carefully. Yenna, I'm sorry. Yenna grabs her mother's hand and orders. Mommy, let's walk home. The verdict is final. He's dismissed. He stands there, stunned, a bead of sweat sliding down his face. But your koalas are in my car. Even now, clinging to logistics, while his heart quietly fractures under the weight of one small girl's disappointment. A single bead of sweat trails down his temple as his eyes widen in pure, dawning horror. I didn't know. I really didn't know. He blurts internally, like a man who has just realized he signed his own social death warrant. Remembering when she was on the phone talking, so sweetly. Meanwhile, she stands in the hallway on her phone, smiling sweetly and saying, of course, I'll be really quick. Feeling rejected, he made her work overtime. Now, a jagged burst of realization explodes. That day was her birthday. The words slam down like a guilty thunderclap. Below, a tiny hand reaches forward as a little girl says loudly, let's go, Mommy. And he just stands there, speechless as the weight of his catastrophic oversight crashes onto his impeccably styled head. He watches them from behind, jaw tight, eyes shaken. Yenna, I'm sorry, he calls out, stepping forward. She doesn't even turn around. Liar. I know you're going to do it again. He scrambles. No, I won't. I promise. She stops without looking back. Then she turns slightly, eyes sharp and shimmering, and asks the question that slices straight through him. You won't make my mom work late again? Fwish, she whips around, glare activated. He drops to her level, desperation softening his voice. I won't make her work late, at least. I'll tell her to go home if something's happening to you. He's bargaining now, negotiating with a 6-year-old like she's the CEO of Emotional Accountability Incorporated. She pouts. Full cheeks. Pink blush. Silence. The most terrifying sound of all. He tries again, gentler this time. Yenna, would you like to play go with me? He kneels, suit wrinkling, pride discarded. Yenna stares forward, unmoved. The offer hangs in the night air like a fragile peace treaty. Her mother steps in, voice calm but firm. He didn't know it was your birthday, Yenna. If he had, he would have let me leave early. Jong O smooths her daughter's hair. Let's try to be understanding about it. A diplomatic effort, though the jury, age 6, furious, is still out. Yenna clutches her mom and whimpers. But I'll never have another 6th birthday. Whimper. That's it. Emotional devastation achieved. She looks up with trembling lips and tear-bright eyes. Why are you taking his side? I'm your daughter, not him. Why are you scolding me? And then, detonation. Voila. She erupts into a full-scale meltdown, spirals, and lightning bolts practically radiating off her tiny body. Both adults freeze. At Dobin's house, he greets his dad. Dad, Do-Obin, did you have fun at Go class? Yeah, the boy beams. What did you learn today? Go. The father hugs him close, pride glowing. That's my son, Jinseo. You're home early. Jinseo notes as father and son crouch together. Yeah, was everything okay today? And then, casually, like dropping a bomb in a sunlit kitchen, Jinseo beams. More than okay. I saw Mr. Jong with Ms. Lee today. They looked so cute together. The mood shifts. That doesn't matter because Yenna doesn't like Jihun. The father straightens his jacket. Huh? But she seemed to like Mr. Jong. Apparently, after you left, Yenna said she never wants to see Jihun again. Oh, why not? He answers flatly, back-turned. Jihun made Ms. Lee work late once. She tilts processing. But isn't that common? And then he delivers the emotional dagger. And it was Yenna's birthday that night. Clap. Her hands fly together. Realization hits like a cymbal crash. Oh, now I get it. Yenna cried a lot that night because her mother didn't show up. Oh my, why did Mr. Jong do that? Sungyu chuckles lightly. Beats me. But it's good that it's out in the open. Now they'll be able to talk about it. He adds with a grin. And it was pretty funny seeing Jihun all flustered. Haha. She nudges him proudly. See? I told you. Good job, honey. Haha. Cut to a warm restaurant glow. Guk-sun Korean meal. Grandma, Yenna calls, tiny arms wrapping around Grandma tightly. Grandma coos. My little puppy, your eyes are red. Did your mom scold you? Did something happen to Yenna today? Grandma asks at the sink, doing dishes. Jang O explains. Remember the man she said she played Go with at Robin's place? Grandma replies. Yes, that handsome man. Jang O. Yeah, that handsome man is an executive director at my office. Oh really? Oh really indeed. Cut to Yenna, fast asleep on a wooden platform, backpack still nearby. Snore. Mom explains softly. Yenna's mad at him because she found out he made me work late on her birthday. Grandma's expression darkens. Oh, so he's the one who always makes you stay late. Grandma straightens with a thud of righteous indignation. Then I don't like him either. She sighs, conflicted. I thought he seemed nice and good-looking. But I don't care for anyone who makes life harder for my daughter. In the quiet that follows, Jong O mutters. Poor Jihun. He's really gotten on their bad side. Truer words have never been simmered. Outside under the night sky, Jong O clears her throat. Ahem. Well, business is business. By the way, Mom. Yenna's Go teacher told me that Yenna's a Go genius. Grandma lights up. Really? Oh, I'm so proud of her. She's just like her mother. Ha ha. Even scandal can't outshine Grandma pride. Chirp chirp. Morning breaks over city buildings. Back to the office grind. Ms. Lee, Mr. Jong wants to see you. Right now? Okay, I'll be on my way. Creak. The door opens. She blurts, Hello, Mr. Jong. Then, without breaks, he asks, Is Yenna still mad at me? He stands there, caught between authority and anxious uncle energy. He leans in close, too close, eyes glinting. She lets out a tiny chuckle fighting a smile. Don't laugh at me, he warns, mock serious. Then, softer, searching, Did it bother you a lot? Tired flashes across his face. She hums, tapping a folder against her lips. Too bad. It looks like we can't be together anymore. He stiffens, and don't tease. His hand catches hers midair. Stay here for a while. She blinks. Huh? But I have to work. If I don't, I'll have to work late. His eyes sharpen, message received. She chuckles, clearly enjoying this. I'll stay for just 5 minutes. Plop. She settles into the chair, crossing her ankles neatly. 5 minutes. He leans forward, cautious. Is Yenna still asking you to quit working here? She deflects with a glow. Isn't Yenna pretty? He exhales, rubbing his temple. Yes, she is. I've never seen a prettier child. But, Jong O praises, she's also very stubborn. Wonder who she takes after. It's not me, that's for sure. He narrows his eyes. If you're about to mention him, you better not. His voice drops. She sits quietly, hands folded. A beautiful flower can bloom anywhere, even where you least expect it. Even if our relationship wasn't much to speak of, still, something beautiful came out of it. The image of him kneeling before little Yenna glows warmly. Isn't our child beautiful? And beneath that tenderness, she begs quietly. So please, Jihun, try to remember. He straightens abruptly. Oomph. Aren't you talking about him way too nicely? If you want to talk about that jerk, bash him instead of glamorizing him. She laughs. That jerk. Jihun agrees. Yeah, that's right. That jerk. She tilts her head thoughtfully. Now that I think of it, he was a bit pervy. Angry, Jihun scolds. I knew it. That bastard. He explodes internally, purple fury aura rising like a supervillain power-up. She giggles. Ha ha ha. He leans in, dead serious. I can tell how he is just by the fact that he still hasn't turned up. If he does, let me know so I can teach him a lesson. She asks innocently. What kind of lesson? His dark aura intensifies. I'll make sure he won't ever be able to come back. I'll break both his legs. She blinks. But he's pretty strong, you know. I can beat him. In Jang O's mind, boxing gloves on, duking it out. Good luck beating yourself. Even she can't hold it in anymore. Her laughter softens into something warm. Still, I can't help being grateful to him. Because he gave me Yenna. He turns, jaw tight. Has he done anything besides that? What did he ever do as her father? The jealousy fades into something deeper, protective, wounded, unresolved. She looks up at him softly and says, that's everything. It's the most important thing. Her voice is calm, unwavering. He stares down at her, something shifting behind his eyes. Then, without warning, his hand slides to her cheek. Huh, she breathes, caught off guard. His gaze darkens with sudden clarity. Now I get it. He leans in and closes the distance. One arm braces against the couch. The other cradles her face as he presses his lips to hers. Smooch. He lingers, fingers firm at her jaw, thumb grazing her skin. Her cheeks flush pink as he murmurs against his lips. You're doing it on purpose. He pulls back just enough to see her flustered expression. Because you know how I'll react once you bring him up. Her heart thumps traitorously. She tries to protest. No, that's not. He cuts her off with a low, confident smile. I told you loud and clear that I'll make you pay if you mention that jerk. His eyes gleam with competitive heat. Not playful. Not entirely. Then, smooth as ever, he adds. Let's see you keep going. Back at the office, a coworker peeks out. Ms. Lee, you're back from your business trip. She smiles politely. Hello, Mr. N. How have you been? Good. I hope everything went well. Jong O replies. It did, thanks to everyone's help. Fortunately, the weather was good and the actors performed well. Mr. An replies, really? I look forward to seeing how it turns out. Keep up the good work. Dribble, coffee pours into a yellow mug. Jong O, you know what? Unbi steps closer, voice honeyed and sharp all at once. You're worth absolutely nothing. Who's going to want you? A single mother with nothing to offer. I'm saying this because I'm genuinely worried for you. Jong O tilts her head slightly. Unbi, are you sure it's me you're worried about? The air between them chills. Wasn't it you who were tossed aside? Jong O counters smoothly. I'm not talking about your relationship with Mr. Jong, but your work. Are you worth something to this company? It looks like you never come up with a single copy or idea worth using. Unbi's jaw tightens. Jong O strikes while the iron is still hot. Be careful. At this rate, you might end up losing your job to me, who's only an assistant manager. Over her shoulder, calm and clear. Unbi, I genuinely said that for your own good. I hope you'll focus more on your job rather than a relationship that means nothing. Work will be the thing that sustains you when you're hurt by people. Jihun beams. Ms. Lee, I missed you. Haha, Mr. Song. How have you been? Questions pile on. Ms. Lee, what was Australia like? You said you even lived there before. Did you feel nostalgic? She laughs lightly. Haha, Mr. Song, how have you been? Yeah, about that. Then a voice calls out coldly, Ms. Lee. I want your business trip report by the end of today. Executive Director mode activated. She sits at her desk as he passes by. She sighs. Right, that's how he was as an executive director, but he was so nice yesterday. The memory overlaps, him kneeling figure in golden light. She rests her chin in her hand, staring at her screen. Oh right, I was so busy I forgot about consulting a lawyer. Her fingers hover over the keyboard. Maybe I'll look into that now. Work, survival, independence, she steels herself for all of it. A search bar blinks as she clicks on, Can I keep child custody? And her heart pounds. Oh, that sounds similar to my case. Legal text floods the screen while she murmurs that the fees aren't high, and they even have experience with cases like mine. her resolve tightening with every word. She slams the glowing button, schedule a consultation, and thinks, I think I'll schedule a consultation. Knock knock. Reality immediately interrupts. She steps into his office with, Mr. Jong, I'm here to present my business trip report. He answers coolly, come in. She bows slightly, apologizing. I'm sorry it got late, sir, while sliding the report across the desk. He taps the desk. If you were that busy, why didn't you tell me you'd do it tomorrow? Her jaw tightens. Inside, she fumes. Why that jerk telling me to finish it by the end of today? Oh, sir. Arms crossed. She suddenly smiles to herself. I just remembered one more good thing about that jerk. He looked very hot while cooking, and his food tasted awesome. His hand clenches as she spirals cheerfully into memory. He was really good with knives too, and he made amazing Korean pancakes. Do you know how to flip pancakes with one hand? Like this. She demonstrates dramatically while he watches, annoyed. He'd snap his wrist like this. Then the veins in his arms would pop out. Oh, that was hot. He rubs his forehead. Ms. Lee, I'd like to ask you something. She beams. Yes, go ahead. He looks straight at her. What are we exactly? He presses on. Am I allowed to think of you as my girlfriend? Or are we just friends with benefits? She stiffens. Friends with benefits? No, there won't be any benefits. The air freezes. He raises a hand frustrated. Fine, forget it. I can't even work with you playing hot and cold. She replies, sorry. I never meant to play hot and cold. Her phone vibrates. He nods toward it. Isn't that your phone? Go ahead, check it. A message pops up. Ms. Lee, Do-bin's sick today, so we're taking a day off from the academy. Sorry, I won't be able to pick Yenna up. Her eyes widened. She pivots to leave. Goodbye then, Mr. Jong. He jolts. You're leaving so soon? She answers over her shoulder. I have to leave the office for a bit. He asks, has something happened? She replies, I have to go pick up Yenna. He stands immediately. I'll give you a ride. She pauses at the door. Don't you have to work? Outside, Yenna crosses her arms and huffs. Mister, you're here again. Humph. The tiny glare could slice steel. Her mom prompts gently. Yenna Lee, what do you mean by that? Say hello to Mr. Jong. Yenna mumbles, hello, Mr. Jong. He crouches with a soft smile. Hello, Yenna, reaching out carefully. His hand hovers in the air, open, patient. Yenna hesitates, fingers inching forward. The space between their palms feels enormous. Clasp. Their hands meet. His breath catches. And his heart slams, thump. A warm thought flickers. Let me take your hand. Another thump. Suddenly, ugh. He grabs his head as a sharp throb spikes through him. What was that? Yenna blinks up. Mister, are you okay? He forces a steady tone. It's nothing. Let's go, Yenna. The three of them walk hand in hand. Almost like a family portrait comes to life. A bicycle rattles past. Yenna's eyes follow it as the bell rings in the distance. She looks up curiously. Mister, are you good at riding bicycles? He answers smoothly. Of course. Would you like me to teach you how to ride? When I was little, I throb. He winces again. Ugh. A hazy memory crashes in, rain pouring down, a promise echoing. I'll teach you how to ride the bicycle. The image blurs like a dream he can almost touch. A woman's silhouette in the rain. A soft, worried call, Mr. Jong. He jolts, startled, dragged back to the present with his pulse racing. Something is stirring in him, memories clawing at the surface, while Yenna's small hand remains wrapped trustingly in his. She tightens her hold on Yenna's hand and asks softly, Are you okay? Yenna stares up, wide-eyed and watchful. He touches his lips, still dazed, eyes unfocused, like he's just woken from a dream he can't explain. The world washes out. An image crashes over him. Himself, but not quite himself, holding a woman close. What was that image? His thoughts echo, a version of myself I don't recognize. And the memory feels intimate. Too intimate. The woman turns away, her silhouette blurred. A woman who came out of nowhere. His pulse pounds as the question claws at him. Who is that woman? He lowers his gaze, a bead of sweat sliding down his face, shaken by a past that refuses to stay buried. What have I forgotten? Grandma. Yenna's voice rings out. She barrels inside like a tiny hurricane. Grandma bends down immediately, smiling. Sweetie, did you have fun at Go? Huh. Yeah. Yenna beams as she dashes straight into her arms. Crisis? What crisis? Behind her, He steps in stiffly, all suit and formality. "Hello, ma'am," and bows. Jang O follows, clutching Yenna's bright yellow backpack. Grandma blinks in surprise. "Oh, hello. It's been a while." Grandma leans in with a whisper. "How come you came together?" Jang O answers smoothly. "Mr. Jong said he was sorry to Yenna, so he came with us today." While Yenna complains, "Grandma, I'm hungry and sleepy." Grandma softens instantly. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Jong. It would be nice if you could stay for dinner." Jang O replies gently, "No, Mom. We have to get back to the office." Jihun says with another polite bow, "I hope to see you again next time." "Yes," Grandma replies, still observing him closely. Jang O waves lightly. "Have fun, Princess Yenna. I'll see you later." As they turn to leave, Yenna calls after her. "Come home early, Mommy." Grandma watches them go, eyes narrowing thoughtfully. They don't just seem like co-workers. It looks like Mr. Jong has feelings for Jang O. In the car, city sunlight flickers across the windshield. "You said you had a headache earlier," she says carefully. "Are you sure you don't have to go to the hospital?" He drives in silence. His thoughts drift. A version of myself I don't recognize, and a woman. I wonder who that woman was. He asks, "Back at the hotel, you said that you hope I'll recover my memory." "Yes, I did." He asks, "Do you still hope that now?" She answers, "Of course," she answers without hesitation. He grips the wheel tighter. What if 7 years ago, his jaw tightens, I was in love with someone else? The question hangs there like a crack in the glass. She looks at him, steady, unflinching. "Then you should meet that person," she says calmly. Sunlight spills across her face. "But I care more about the present." The city blurs past outside. She reasons, "Still, that person might still be waiting for you." He counters, "But she never contacted me in all these years." She replies gently, "Maybe she couldn't reach out to you. People grow apart for so many different reasons. Maybe a family member stopped her." He keeps his eyes on the road, jaw tight. The silence between them feels less like distance and more like something carefully being built. She turns fully toward him now. "Just meet her. No, try to remember her. Tell her about your circumstance and ask her how she's been. Also apologize for all the things you've missed." Her voice is steady. No jealousy, no fear. Just sincerity. That person would have been waiting for you all this time, just where you left her. All right. He glances at her, conflicted. "What if I meet her and it doesn't go back to you? Are you okay with that?" She lets out a small laugh. He scolds, "Don't laugh and answer my question." "Ha ha. I guarantee you, whoever that person is, I bet I'll beat him. Go recover your memory and tell me all about it. I'm so curious about you from 7 years ago." Night falls over a grand estate. The mood shifts. No more teasing. A drawer slides open. A box of old belongings rests on the floor. He kneels and begins to rummage through it like a man hunting for buried proof. "Jihun, I haven't seen you in so long, and you're holed up in your room." His mother stands at the doorway. "I'm looking for something." "What?" He rises slightly. "Mother, do you know where my phone I used 7 years ago is?" She hesitates. A flicker of unease crosses her face. "I threw that out years ago. It was all broken." His eyes sharpen instantly. That answer lands wrong. "Then what about the data? Maybe something went missing." She replies too quickly. "We moved everything to your new phone. You know that." He stares straight ahead, mind racing. For instance, the scene overlays back to the car, her earlier words echoing. Maybe a family member stopped her. His hand pauses over an old book in the box. "Mother, remember how I went on a trip to Australia after finishing military service?" His mother flinches. "Just barely, but enough. Why don't I have any photos from then?" The air tightens. He stands slowly. "Mother, are you hiding something from me?" She clutches her cheek dramatically. "What would I be hiding from you?" "My love, that hurts my feelings." He says nothing. The silence is heavier than accusation. Vroom. The memory overlaps with the present, him driving alone through the night. My mother's obsession with me, which had continued since my childhood, was subdued when I played the role of a good son. At least that's what I thought. The car disappears into darkness. He sits alone in his car, staring ahead. If my mother deceived me and erased all traces of my past from 7 years ago, how can I find out what happened all those years ago? The question echoes like thunder inside a locked room. Click, clack. Jang O walks up to a building, heels crisp against the pavement. "I didn't think the law firm would get back to me so quickly." I'm glad I can get a consultation soon. I was so anxious. Ms. Lee. She turns. Oh, officer, hello. Hello, Ms. Lee. It's late. Are you going to the office? She replies, no, I have an appointment. The officer comments. You look happy, she asks. Have you found any leads on your cold case? He smiles sheepishly. Not yet, but I'm working on it. You seem to be doing well, too. And you look great in that suit. He nearly beams. Thank you. Good luck, and if you need any help, call the police department anytime. Thank you. Good night, officer. Inside the sleek lobby. Hello, I'm Jang O. I have a consultation booked for 9. The receptionist replies, oh yes. Please wait a moment. The attorney will be out soon. She sits, hands folded. I'm surprised they do private consultations this late. Ahem. They must be busy since they're such a big law firm. Step. A tall man approaches. Ms. Jang O. Her eyes widen slightly. Oh yes. I'm Jinchul. I'll be in charge of your consultation tonight. He smiles professionally. Polished. Calm. Harmless. Something about him tugs at her memory. They walk down the hall. Oh, hello. You look different from your blog photo that I didn't recognize you. Haha. I hear that a lot. The firm must have retouched the photo. Please come this way. Step. Step. Names line the wall. Jihun Law Firm. Attorney Min-hyuk Lee. Attorney Yenyap Che. Her heart stutters. Yenyap Che. Didn't Unbi come from a family of legal professionals? Wasn't her brother an attorney? Maybe that's the same name. Tap. She types quickly. Attorney Yenyap Che. Search results pop up. Her breath catches. A profile appears. Yenyap Che, Jihun Law Firm. The photo loads. Not Yenyap. Attorney Jinchul. Her eyes sharpen. I mean, Yenyap Che? This person is deceiving me.